All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here on the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And I want to tell you, Financial Freedom Papers is on tap tonight. How? You might have noticed the intro on the taglines, no taxes. I know that's very hard to achieve. There's only a few ways you can make that happen. You would have to be in business for yourself or start thinking about other alternatives. But there is a way. But if you can't do that, it's okay. Why? Because we say buy assets that pay you. That way, it'll pay for your taxes. And also, what else can we talk about? Passive income, the elusive passive income. That's what everybody wants. Well, it's hard to achieve once again, but you can get your freedom papers and welcome. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you so much for being here. And if you don't know who that was and the music at the intro, that's Sean Rayford and the Sean Rayford Experience. They will be on the island. That's right, Dominican Republic Island, May 9th through the 12th. That's right. And just so this is just for those who are coming, notice May 9th, we will have a special brunch. That's right. You heard me. Even though May 9th is a Thursday, brunch, lunch. That's right. Musical event for VIP members. That'll help. And there'll be some more news on that. And then later in the evening, like around 7 p.m. Eastern Beachside, again, special Sean Rayford acapella edition on the beach. That's right. That's going to be very special as well. And then on Saturday evening, it's going to go off with some Latin bands, DJs, and then we'll have Damian Hudson. That's right. I'll start playing some of his videos. Then Sean Rayford and the Sean Rayford Experience will go into a jam session. And oh yeah, this won't be your usual 15 minutes. 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or even an hour. The band plays on and on and on. That's right. They are badass. And then we'll have a couple of more special artists over the weekend as well. But you don't want to miss it, because on the 10th and 11th, it's going to be off the charts. And Sunday brunch is going to be special as well. So don't leave Sunday too early if you're just coming for the music. So I got a lot to talk about, and unfortunately, it's not up on StopStrugglingNow.com nor SSN Lifestyle for the tickets yet. I was trying to get them up today, but we have some other fish that we're frying right now, because you guys are going to be, oof. Again, I can't say anything until I find out even more. I thought I was going to be able to tell you something, but the list keeps getting longer and longer. This is going to be one for the ages, this social experiment that I'm doing. So just so you guys know, when we're trying to get that passive income, when we're trying to make moves, I always look at business as an experiment, like it's chemistry. Like you're setting up things and saying, what happens when I put this little bit in? What happens when I sprinkle some of that in there? What's going to happen? Is this going to go boom? And that's what we want. We want an explosion of greatness. Can we make it happen? Well, we're putting the recipe together, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks like if this comes to fruition, not only was I excited last week, but some new things just dropped into my lap this past few days over the weekend. And now I have to redo and see if I can add another, well, what's another 1.2 million to the overall scheme of things, right? Let's see if we can make this work, because if this happens, oh my God, SSN Nation, you guys are going to be going for a ride. You want real estate investment? You want villas? You want bungalows? You want condos? Stay tuned. And they won't be delivered in 4 and 5 years neither. Oh, yes. Somebody says, what's your secret sauce, Eric? Well, my secret sauce is a top 1%er secret sauce. Got to have the funding. If you don't have that, it's hard to make things work in one big explosion. We'll see how it all plays out over the next few days. And just so you guys know, I'll be in the DR. Things have changed around. It looks like I will be there no sooner than another week after the 12th. So 13th, 14th, somewhere in there, I should be in DR. If you're going to be there, don't be shy. You can find me. All you got to do is be here on the live streams and let me know where you're at. All right. So that's the first salvo for February, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let's get into it. It looks like we have a few people in the chat room already. Laverne Penix is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he has that icon next to his name, which I love. Thank you so much for your financial support and being a member of the channel. And Laverne Penix, also known in this YouTube street as Mr. Cool. He does his investments. He's getting his financial freedom papers. And he says, I'm retiring wherever I want to. He says his tagline, hello, SSN Nation. I hope everyone is doing well. I received a notification and the trailer. That's one person this evening. Thank you so much for that, Mr. Cool. And everybody, please make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you share this video. Make sure you let your friends know we take no prisoners here. And by the way, nobody's stopping us. You can do whatever you want to do, but you have to sometimes have help. We always need a little bit of help, ladies and gentlemen. But guess what? You're in the right house. Karen and another investor is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And she brings the tagline, hey, Eric, hello to you. Very nice to see you. What's the topic too? Well, the topic here in the SSN Nation is always anything you want to talk about, because it's financial freedom papers tonight. It's no secret. You need assets, ladies and gentlemen. If I said liabilities, I would be lying to you. It doesn't matter about your jewelry. It doesn't matter about the watch, the clothes you wear, the shoes you wear. It's about assets. And what does that mean? Assets pay you. They don't sit on a shelf. They don't come on your clothes. Assets work while you're sleeping. You wake up, you have checks. That's what an asset is here, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let CNBC, Bloomberg, all these other financial analysts tell you any such nonsense to be a worker. They don't want you to be in the top 10%. Let's just face facts out here. You guys keep thinking this mainstream thought process. There's nothing wrong with one thought process, investing in the stock market. How can you go wrong? It's got a freaking damn near 100-year history of up 9% annually, 10% annually. Even if you just left your money in there, even during the Great Depression, you still will average around 9%. Now, traditionally, 9% works for you. That would get your freedom papers after 30 years. But unfortunately, we have a thing called inflation that they're hiding from us, and it goes up much faster than in the past because we have printed more money than ever in history. We also allow corporations to do damn near anything they want. So therefore, they can charge you anything. You are held hostage, and now you have a problem. 65% of us live paycheck to paycheck. We don't want that for you, ladies and gentlemen, but we're giving you the information that you need. And might I add, zero cost. This is the no guru zone. This is the SSN Academy, SSN University. No cost here, ladies and gentlemen, because we want you to use your own hard-earned money to make investments so you get return on your dollars. All right, that's the topic, Karen Ann, whatever you like. And Karen Ann, I know you're doing that Dominican Republic real estate. No credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. Yahweh J is in the house. Another investor is here. This is so exciting, and he has that icon next to his name as well. And he brings his tagline this evening because it's welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he says, hello, SSN Nation. Receive notification, saw a trailer, and smash that like button. Thank you so much for that. And ladies and gentlemen, remember what I was talking about in May? You heard the first 3 days of music. Well, guess what else is going to happen? If you want to do some investment, then I suggest you be there May 13th, 14th, and 15th. Why? Oh, because you're going to be going around town. That's right. Going to check out some areas of town, check out some properties. You're going to talk with lawyers, not one, two, at least. You're going to talk with builders and developers in case you want to do something. Did you hear me correctly? Yes, you did. In case you want to do something. Oh, yeah, Takeover 2024 is going down. I'm finding out where to get some things that most people don't know about. Oh, the lessons continue, especially when people find out the big dogs coming to town. They're just like rolling out the red carpet. Eric, do you know where to go get land over here? No, I did not. This is great news. Well, I don't have to pay retail? Hell no. Oh, my God. They're letting the fox in the hen house. This is great. You guys are not going to believe it if I pull this off. You'll be in shock yourself. But wait till next week when I get there. What is it going to be? The 15th, 16th? That should be when things should be commencing, because that is the time I'll bring you along. I should be at the lawyer's office, and I hope I'm signing some papers with some new partnerships. And you guys, partnerships mean to me something that it means to other people. I don't count signing papers as partnerships. All right? When I sign papers and do partnerships, that means go. That doesn't mean we talking and putting ads in the newspapers and putting them online talking about, hey, this is what we're bringing to town. No, it's already done happened already. Things are already moving. All this moving dirt around, sure, no problem. First 3 weeks. But things are happening in 1 month. That's all I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. It's going down. Don't let it happen, ladies and gentlemen. You better stop me before it starts, DR. Hello, SSN Nation. Receive notification, saw the trailer, smash the like button. I already remember that. That's 2 people this evening. So thank you for that, Yahweh J. All right. Saw the DR update. I'm with you, man. What the hell is Super 8 doing there? Exactly, Yahweh J. Can you believe this nonsense? Again, Wyndham, They know I'm going to talk smack. Ladies and gentlemen, I've told you this before. I changed the game on a lot of things I do. And when I did the condo timeshare hotel concept back 15 years ago, it was longer than that, but that's when Airbnb came out, 2012. So 11 years ago, when they called me up. I told you guys that story before. But here's the other kicker. I told the part of the story before as well. Guess who called up crying because they said, oh my God, you are renting out so much stuff. We want to stop you. So instead, Mr. Bird, can we just pay you to go away? I said, how much? They paid me to go away, and I had to give up all of my properties with Wyndham. And I can't buy any more Wyndhams. That was the agreement. So just to give you guys an idea, there's something called Mardi Gras in New Orleans coming up in, February 13th, right? So that means that's probably a Thursday. I haven't looked here. What is it, Wednesday? Let's go look this up. When is it? 13th or Tuesday. Okay. So that means Mardi Gras is popping off like maybe this weekend and next weekend, but it's this weekend. So you can imagine there's a place called Avenue Plaza. You guys can look this up in real time if you want. And it probably has about, I don't really remember. I think it was 200 rooms. Is it Avenue Plaza? So with me and my cohorts, we could have 40 to 45% of all units. That's right. You heard me correctly. All units for Mardi Gras week. They couldn't rent them out because now they would have other ownerships, weeks, points, and they even had right to use weeks. And so some people actually had Mardi Gras weeks. I had Mardi Gras week. And so therefore, they couldn't rent out all of the units and leave timeshare owners holding the bags by making, those maintenance fee payments. So we were controlling about 45% of the inventory. These dudes are like, hold up. They froze all of partners' accounts. All of ours, bought out everybody. Not just from Avenue Plaza, but I'm just giving you an example because it was also Orlando, Wyndham Bonnet Creek, whenever there was something special going on. It's a whole bunch of things going on. And Wyndham said, no, we're not going to compete. I'm like, why don't you just be a timeshare then? Why you want to act like you own the hotel and then you charge the maintenance fee to the timeshare owners? Meanwhile, you block dates that are important. But see, 1 year in advance, you can't even reserve on their system. So therefore, that's when we booked it 1 year in advance. So they couldn't do jack crap. So instead of trying to beat us, they had to freeze our accounts and then negotiate. And they were negotiating at a power position because once they froze your account, you can't do anything. Then they came and said, well, we'll just pay you out. We're like, okay, fine. No problem. You know why it's no problem? Because people still have Wyndham ownerships. If we still want to use Wyndham, we can. We'll just backdoor it if necessary. It's just ridiculous how these. So anyhow, I have my own little pet peeve with these clowns. Now, Days in, Super 8, since Yahweh brought it up, come on. You're going to put these on the island? This is a joke. All right. It's not, they're not even using their grand resorts or nothing. A Days Inn and a Super 8. Seriously? I'm supposed to get excited about that type of product? Come on now. This is ridiculous. So anyhow, Yahweh J, exactly. I can't believe it either, man. Crazy, crazy stuff. And in case nobody knew about the Wyndham connection, yeah, I should bring on some of the fellas. They would tell you what happened to them as well. You guys, man. The world is a funny place when it comes to business. I keep telling you, when you start doing some things that change the game, they always have to figure out a way to block you because they're thinking, hey, they're making money off of us. Well, you shouldn't even be in the game in the first place. Hear me out. Ladies and gentlemen, some of you have timeshares. Have you ever wondered how come when you call up, it seems like nothing's available? Well, must be awfully nice for them to take the inventory for the best of times and then leave you a little few rooms left over and then claim 100 and some odd rooms are not available, right? But yet your maintenance fees go up every year. So that is their game plan. So I'm surprised they're not going to make these some sort of vacation clubs over there, because that's their MO. And then they control the board. So then you can never get anything done or reduced or changed. They install their own puppets. Yeah, it's a cold, cold world out here, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to making money, especially when there's millions of dollars on the line. See my Airbnb video I made 2 or 3 years ago. That's the only time I've shown my 1099s from Airbnb. Go check it out for a few years. I think I showed 3 years. So check it out. If you've seen it, 2020, 2021, check it out. Joe Nay, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon next to your name. And he says, what's good, SSN fam? You know it's all good, my man. And he says, how is everybody? Everybody who's here is going to be good. Why? Can you believe that I saw something that was very helpful today on CNBC? You know what I saw? I saw something about taxes, that you can file your taxes for free. Now, this is very interesting to be on CNBC. I had to be skeptical, but most Americans can file federal taxes for free, but only about 3% used this option last season. Can you believe this? If your adjusted gross income was $79,000 or less, you can use IRS free file for federal tax returns this season. Can you believe this, ladies and gentlemen? Some 70% of taxpayers, roughly 100 million Americans, are eligible for IRS free file. Did you get this correct? Are you guys paying attention? So some of you would just be listening to what I'm saying, but here's the thing. That's 79,000. That's 100 million Americans out of, well, all 300 plus million Americans don't work because you have a certain percentage under 18. And then out of that, all Americans don't work and make $80,000 per year. It's more than 100 million, but we'll stay with the 100 million number. Think about this. This right here, you know how you have to qualify for, let's call it cars, homes, your rental locations, and they give you 30%. That's the number. So you have to make, that's like six, what is that? 6, that's 72. So it's almost 7. It's like $6,500 per month. Okay. Now, if you have rental of 3,000, you would not qualify. If you have rental of 2,000, you could qualify, but then you would not have a car payment. You would not have any credit cards. You can't have anything because you would overshoot the 30%. So that is unlikely, since 60%, 65% live paycheck to paycheck. So in essence, where can you live for $2,000 per month and still make almost $80,000? That is insane when you start thinking about it. This is not the average for income in America. It's almost half that number. So that gives you an idea how bad this is getting. 100 million. This isn't like 20 million or 10 million people. This is half of the workforce is living in a rental environment. You think you're going to run around here and buy a $400,000 house and make 80 G's household income? Not going to happen. That's not enough. Start putting in the insurance, taxes, and everything else. It's not going to be enough. You're going to give up more than 40 to 50% of your paycheck just for your house. So that's why you buy assets, so you get your freedom papers sooner than later, ladies and gentlemen. All right, this is pretty simple. I'm very happy that this did come up with the numbers. So IRS free file, let's go put it in the chat room, shall we? Let's go see what this is. I'm going to put this in the chat room. And remember, it's your adjusted gross income. So here you go in the chat room. You can go check it out yourself. Adjusted gross income has to be 79,000 or less. That's a good thing. Now, let's get back to the regularly scheduled programming. All right, I just had to throw that in there because that is of great use to a lot of people here in the SSN Nation. All right, let's go. All right, let me see this. What's this? Jawway J. I'll be in the DR on Saturday, Eric, all the way up to the 14th. Well, Jawway J, it's going to be awfully close. I will tell you that, because from the West Coast to the DR takes 2 days. Can you believe it? I got to stop somewhere overnight. So even if I left the 13th, I'd be landing the 14th. If I leave the 12th, which unfortunately probably won't be leaving the 12th, I'm going to probably have to leave the 13th. So I can't even make it there unless some new flight pops up. Some new record showed up for the month of January. Hopefully we hit an all-time record high, because if we did, then we'll be well on our way to that 9.5 to 10 million mark by 2025. So this year we hit, what was it? 7.8? I think that's what we reached. Yes, it was 7.8 million by air. This year we're supposed to do 8.5 to 9. And in 2025, we're supposed to do 9.5 to 10 by air, not by sea, by air only. 2 more million. Where are these people going to stay? Well, if things go my way, they'll be staying in some of my properties in 2.5 years, 2 years. We're making it happen. Maybe even, forget that. 1 year, we're still early. It could be next year. So yes, we can get some of that. Not going to, meanwhile, other people are going to be waiting around for their stuff. So hopefully, Jawway J, I don't know what time you're leaving, but hopefully you're around. Joe Nay, I received a notification, saw a video, and guess what? I just smashed that like button. Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't smashed that like button, please do so. If you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel. And if you want to get involved, there's a chat room here. We allow it. We have a lot of great people in the house that are investors, have great knowledge on financial information and others. You want to deal with credit? So be it. Down below in the description box, I suggest you go take a look at Smart Credit. Why Smart Credit? Because it checks all of it's a monitoring system. They check all 3 of the credit bureaus. Your hiring index. That's not bad. Your FICO auto index. So you'll know your FICO auto scores. You have identity fraud protection for you and everybody in your household who has the same address on their credit profile. So if one person who does not have Smart Credit, something happens with their identity and they live in the same household, they are protected. How about that? You want to improve your credit? They have some ways that you can send messages to some of the creditors that you have. All right? It's that simple. Plus a few other features. The link is down below. Of course, you get a special deal by using the SSN Nation link, Smart Credit, and then down below that is National Credit Bureau. You can check them out as well. Way to help boost your credit. That's an easier way to do it. So go check them out down below, because if you have good credit, then you can do some things by buying assets with credit, just like the big boys. Do not buy a liability with credit, because that will lock you up. What I mean by that is you went out here, bought a $400,000, $500,000 home. You have a $35,000, $4,000 a month payment. That is a liability. So now if you want to go down and get some multifamily property and they look at you and say, we need 20% down, or like I like to say, 25%, then they might want to use your personal credit. And then they'll say, oh, no, we can't mess with him. His debt to income ratio isn't right. Plus this deal, we're not going to do that deal. He doesn't make enough anyhow. So it all depends on how you do things. So buy the passive income first. That's the trick when you're 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 25, 30. All right. So hopefully that helps you out, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we go and talk about here. That's what you can come to May 9th through the 15th is events in the Dominican Republic. Lawyers, builders, developers, inspectors, and going around to check out the lay of the land and party on the beach the first 3 days with also noontime. We will have a little stands around so people can get some brochures, some information, and be like, oh, I see what's going on around here. That's what we're going to do. Make it very special. You don't want to miss this. Victor Marrero's in the house, soon to be retiree, who's done things right. He's sitting here making all the right investment maneuvers. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon next to his name, which I love. And he brings the tagline, hello all, let's do this. That's what we're trying to do here, ladies and gentlemen, bring havoc. That's what I'm trying to do in the DR. I'm about to do what you call make a change. Like I said, you guys know I had that Dominican Republic fraud video up, right? Everybody knows damn near every project is late and they don't care. And not only they don't care, they couldn't do anything if they wanted to. Why? Because timelines were not real. That's why I'm finding out a whole bunch of stuff. And I cannot believe it. And I call it intentional because I'm going to tell you right now, there's some things that I learned over the last 2 weeks that I was just like going jaw dropping. When these guys are sitting there telling me, hey, Eric, you know what these titles mean when you transfer from person to person? We got those. I'm like, yeah, but what happens when I actually need all the freaking land? They're like, well, you got to go through escrow like normal. I said, okay, but what are we talking about here? Oh, that might be 7 months, a year. I'm like, what? Wait a minute. So I can buy the land, go through this closing, and it can take up to a year, 3-4 months. I'm just like, whoa, wait a minute. Hold on a second. And then it's taken me 3 months to get permits and then some more design stuff. So we're talking about if I started a project, it can take me 1.5 years. I'm like, hold up. How do we bypass this? They're like, well, you need a land that's already consolidated, already ready to roll, already went through closing and buying it direct. Then you're looking at 3 months to get permits. Bingo. Let's go hunting. Let's go hunting, ladies and gentlemen. So now that I know how they do this, and I'm also getting this, oh, I can't even believe this information I heard just this weekend. I was just like, you got to be, I'm doing this. You got to be kidding me right now. There's some guys that hit me up and said, hey, I want to do a partnership with you. Oh, yeah, we're at that stage right now. The big dog's coming and they're calling me saying, I want to do partnerships. I'm like, okay, hold up. I have certain things I want to do, but here's the thing. These guys go, yeah, there's like 5 construction companies. I'm like, what did you just say? I'm just like, don't even say what you just said. He's like, yeah, there's like these 5 big ones that we want to do this, that, and the other. And I'm like, you mean the guys that deliver late? He's like, well, I don't know about all that. They have good reputation. I'm like, what? Who has a good reputation? They're all delivering late. Who? He's like, well, yeah. He started naming some, and I'm just like, no. Don't tell me I'm going to do this myself. This is ridiculous what's happening right now. So now we may not have enough structural engineers, not enough structural companies, even to do all these projects, because if there's only a certain number and we have at least 20, 30 projects on the island right now. There's more than that. So they can't go around. This would explain why there's going to be 2-year delays, or shall I say 2 years for delivery and then a 2-year delay, meaning 4 years. So there's projects right now people bought, sold out in 2020. Panorama Garden, Panorama Lake, Panorama Park, lagoons, residences, all inside Vistacana. Our the first what's they're called by the beach in Vistacana also, those aren't done. Those were all sold out in 2020. They aren't built, and it's 2024. And they're not going to be built no time soon. This is what we're dealing with here. 4 years. And I'm not even going to get into the other ones as well, because you guys already know we got the beach sitting out there. That's crazy. We got stuff at Conner Rock. We got Blue Marina in Los Corrales just sitting there. We got Reserva Real sitting there. I mean, 5 years for them. This is crazy. Some things were done in 2019, 2018. 5 years. And these are some big names. So even the big names can't get the things done. And so somebody would say, like we were having a discussion in the SSN Nation group, and they were saying, well, how are you going to be different? Oh, wait, you guys, I'm not going to say anything about what I'm going to do. But let's just put it this way. Dubai, how do they get things done? Some of you may know. I'm going to do the same thing. Simple. All right? We know what to do when there's not enough manpower. We get our manpower. Georges Charles, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Another investors in the house. He's taking no prisoners. Why do I say that? Because he said, I'm going to invest in assets that's going to pay me. No credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry, not 1, not 2, not 3. Oh, yeah, I'm not even going to tell you anything else. You will have to see over the next year or two, because when you see this man next year, this time, he's going to have a huge smile on his face, because he's going to have delivered to him a 4-bedroom, or is it 5? I can't remember anymore. I think it's 4 bedrooms, 5.5 bathroom unit that can sleep 10 or 12 if he pushed it. Go look on Airbnb right now, ladies and gentlemen. I challenge you to go look at Punta Cana and put in sleep 4, then put in sleep 10, then put in sleep 11. See what happens when you have a villa and you can sleep that many and you have amenities inside of your gated community. And what if you bought it for under $300,000? 1% is all we're looking for. So if you buy for $300,000 or less, do you think he can rent it for $300,000? Some of you may not know. This is why you're supposed to do your research when you're an investor and you want freedom papers, because as soon as you go over there and look and you see something crazy like, does that really say $600 per night? Does that really say $595 per night? Does that really say $1,000 per night? You might start getting excited too if you had that same type of villa and that size. See, getting in early sometimes does matter, but sometimes you have to go through a little headaches, but he will have a huge smile on his face a year from now. And some of you might want to rent from him, because again, all units have their own what you call ensuite, meaning all bedrooms have a bathroom. At the pool is another bathroom, full bathroom at the pool out back. Oh yeah, does this sound nice? Yeah. And there's a half bath in the living room. So now everybody has their own bathroom, plus the one out back. Is that sweet or what? So I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen, he's the man. Emerging Millionaire is here. Karen Ann, beachfront land. Oh, where did you hear that? That's right. You damn right. Beachfront land. What do you want to talk about on this topic? Are we talking about condos? We talking about land itself? What are we talking about? You talking about trying to find some? There's some that exist. If you want to pay $260 per square meter, no problem. It exists. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It exists. Right by Macau, too. Big day tomorrow for the YieldMax family, says Victor Morero. In case you're new here and don't know about YieldMax, just smash the like button now. If you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel. Why is he saying that? Well, every time we start talking about YieldMax, ETFs.com, you know, the YouTube gods got to stick their hands in the pie. So we're going to try it again tonight, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're going to try tonight. Let's see what happens when we go to YieldMax ETFs. Oh, and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, today it finally happened. My confusion about trading is almost over. I finally realized what was going on because people use different names for the same thing. But I found out, I was like, what do you mean pips? What do you mean ticks? No wonder it seemed all weird, because I'd be like, what you trading? And they would give me these different names, and I'd be like, doesn't make no sense. Today, oh, I found out some things. I was like, wait, this is okay, money management, and then see some things. I was like, wait a minute, this is easy. Hold on a second. Oh, here we go, gentlemen. Now I guess ET. Oh, what's this? Big day tomorrow. Dividend rate declaration with payments on Friday, February 9th. Oh my goodness. You better go tonight, right now. Get yourself one of these. Oh, they've already blocked us, Eddie. This is insane. You see this up here, the distribution rate? That's Netflix, ladies and gentlemen. You're seeing this right here, 26%, 46%. Yes, go look at it based on the stock price today. This you have to study. All right? It looks like we're going to be taken out once again. This is funny, man. I don't believe it. Every time we start talking about this is crazy. Oh, man. Every time. Okay. So well, there we go. Proof is in the pudding. If you think we are not shadow banned, once again, Marlon, you guys notice every time we go to YieldMax, we can't talk about them 30%, 25% dividend returns, can we? Sheesh, won't stop. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Won't stop. Okay, let's see what else we got here. George's Charles brings this tagline, which I completely forgot about. I was so excited for him. Hey, all, I smell money in here. He's exactly right. He gets some of that YieldMaxETF.com money. YieldMaxETFs.com. Go check it out for yourself, because I already knew we're going to be blocked. Always happens. It's ridiculous. All right. You can still get your YieldMax ETF overnight, potentially at Robinhood. Potentially. I haven't tried to trade after 8 p.m. at night, but hey, they got 24 hours now. That's very popular. But still, check it out yourself. Go study. Make sure you check it out. So that's soon, man, not the 15th, 16th, 18th of the month, but the 9th distribution. Well, I guess everybody's going to be happy on Friday. I know I will be. I know Brian P. will be. I know George's Charles will be. I know Victor Marrero will be. A3C Vol, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. He is in the house and he says, hello, everyone. And Eric, hello to you. Eric, are you still going to DR in May? Of course, May is the event, ladies and gentlemen. It's going down, music and investors event. Stay the whole week. What you want to do is stay the 9th through the 16th. You want to leave on the 16th because you want to be there the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, the 12th, the 13th, 14th, and 15th. You don't want to miss it. Music the first 3 days. A little business maybe in the afternoon because there'll be people around. But then music 9, 10, 11, and 12. Business 13, 14, 15. So you'll have 2 options or 3 options, stay the whole time or just come for whatever portion you want to hang out and have fun with. So it's going to be off the charts. That is for sure. It's almost guaranteed next week I should have this wrapped up. I hate that it was going to be wrapped up last week. Laverne Penix, hey, A3 Saval, do you have any updates on the Wave project? Yikes. The Wave project, didn't they put a letter out saying that they were going to have delivery December of, well, some people December 2024 and others December 2025, which is a travesty. 5 years. That is insane because they were 2021. So it'll be 4 years. 2021, I think. Yeah, they were 2021, and here it is 2024. So they're over. They're past due. They sent a letter out, and they also, what did they charge? 10% more? E. White. Hey, George's Charles, did E. White get his contract? Did he get that contract? Ladies and gentlemen, there may be a precedent coming out on the contract, courtesy of SSN Nation and E. White. We will see. Here we go right here. If you own JEPI or JEPQ, they both just announced their February dividend rates. Thank you very much. I have some JEPI from 0.4278 per share to 30 cents or 30 cents. JEPQ. JEPQ. What is that? 3 cents? Oh, it's 34. Yeah, 39, 34, 30. Disappointed, but still collecting. Hey, it's passive income. He gave out 2 more symbols, JEPI, JEPQ. That's JP Morgan. They're a Fed bank. I don't really care what they give out. I just know they're not going to fold. They're never going to let them guys fold. So as long as they have their fun, whether they pay $5 or $4.78, it does not really matter because you know you're getting that passive income in and their stock price is going to stay within a certain range. All right, so just keep that in mind. Mo Better is in the house. Another investor is here with that icon next to his name. Thank you so much for that, Mo. And he says his tagline, what's up, SSN Nation? What's up, E? You know what's up with me. We in the building. That's right. We're going to stay in the building because it's permanently SSN Nation Takeover 2024. The Dominican Republic edition coming up. It's going down. Nobody's stopping us, ladies and gentlemen. Mo Better says, got the notification. And of course, I smashed that like button. I greatly appreciate that. Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, you want your financial freedom papers. Mo says he want his. George's Charles says he want his. And Victor Marrero said, I want mine. Laverne Penix, Mr. Cool, says he wants his. Jaway J wants his. Joe Nay wants his. A3 Saval wants his. Karen Ann wants hers. Who else is in the house tonight that I miss? I think that about covers almost everybody. Off the top of the head, off the top of the dome, I think that's it. And Mo Better's here as well. And again, George, what's up, G? That's what we're trying to do. Look who else is in the house. Joan Cantor, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. I just got here. Hello, SSN Nation. Joan Cantor, welcome. Which country are you talking about? Wait, I must not have been clear. Are we talking about Dominican Republic? Is that the country we're talking about with real estate, no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry because of pre-construction? Yes, that one. That one. The one that has issues. That one. Delivery dates well over time. A3 Saval at Laverne Penix. Hey, no, I'm trying to get to the bottom of what's going on. I got an email a few months ago saying my unit was delayed now until December 2025. Exactly. Do you have any updates? That's the whole point, A3 Saval. The wave said they gave out two dates depending on, I guess, which phase you were in, and that price increase also, which was coming because they include all the amenities now. So, of course, they were going to have to increase it for, well, every project, right? That's just the way it's going to go. Unfortunately, no, there's no new updates. That is the updates, I think. But again, I'm not a wave owner and I'm not privy to their information. So I think it was succinct. They were just like, we're going to deliver December 2024. And I think it was December 2025, depending on which section you were in. But by the way, give us that extra 10%. I think it was 10%. So yeah, that's not good. That's not good because that would mean 4 years if they delivered in 2025. Once again, knowing they can't deliver. They know they can't deliver. They don't even look. First of all, it's inside Vistacana. So Vistacana owned the land. So then they would have had to transfer the land to the project. But oh my, ladies and gentlemen, if it only was that simple. Who says that they might have not bought the land outright? They might have entered into an agreement where they can, as long as they pay for the land, ultimately they're going to have the land. Now, in America, that may cause a problem when you go down to the department to build something and they look on there and they say, hey, John Doe, I'm sorry, what are you trying to do with Eric Bird's property? Do you have something signed off from him? Now in the DR, I'm not privy to that yet because I'm still in the what you call learning stage. But when I get over there, I'm about to find out how the process works straight up. Because if you do things like that, you're going to have to sign over another document or something so they have authorization to do what they need to do, or you're going to have to go with them. I don't know how they're doing in the DR, but I'm going to tell you right now, it just seems awfully weird to me that these guys or some of these developers have right to buy, so to speak. That's the best way I can use it. This is foreign to me. The right to buy, which is almost like a lease to buy, but it's not a lease. It's as long as you pay, you own it. But as far as I'm concerned, how does that work when you're going down to get permits and everything else done? I don't know. But all I know is you ain't on the damn title. So that presents a problem to me. So that's why I feel that there's a exploitation that I'm about to do if I have my way. And as soon as this bank comes back to me and tells me what I want to hear, and if they tell me the right thing, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, this is about to get all wiggy. I'm going to be public enemy number one on that joint, on that little island. They're going to say, how did this dude come in here and just take over? Well, because you guys are slacking. That's the only way I can take over, right? Must be something you guys aren't doing properly or don't care. I'm coming in with the I do care attitude. And I also coming in with the F you attitude. I'm taking over. Jawway J. And this whole way about getting the title is ridiculous. Oh, Jawway J. Here we go. My villa is ready. And they can't tell me when the title will be made available. There we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so here's what's happening right now. Everybody who's getting delivery of their unit, I'll say this, when Simon Residences in November 25th, they sent a letter saying, we're going to deliver your unit. December 2023, and in the another section of the email, it says, but we don't have title yet. I was like, then you can't deliver anything. I was like, is this a joke? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, what did I tell you? Sometimes people don't actually own the land outright. They have some sort of agreement, which now means without transferring that title to begin with, what if there's an issue with the title being clear? Now, all of a sudden, you got to go hunt people down, and sometimes you can't find them. Sometimes people go, I'm not going to sign to clear this title. So you just never know what's going to happen. It's happening right now on all these deliveries. People are finding out these guys don't have the title that they can transfer to you when they're calling it delivery. It's crazy. So this, what he's saying, is what's actually going down, ladies and gentlemen. So when you thought that they were being delayed for doing the projects for a certain reason, this right here is one of the actual reasons. And they really don't want to deliver to you either, because this right here is what's going to happen. So you tell me, ladies and gentlemen, exploitation incoming. Like I said, don't let my partners hit me up and be like, Eric, we're going to do this. We're going to back this, because it's straight up takeover, because these guys are running around here naked. What I mean by that is they are doing deals. These developers are doing deals with land, a mass of land, and then they don't even have the title to it. They have an agreement, which is good enough for the lawyers to pass off and say, yeah, there's an agreement. As long as they make payment, the other person has to give them the property. Well, see, now it's in the eye of the person paying, the developer. If he doesn't pay the person, now we got a problem. You might be paying him every month. 100 other people might be paying him every month, but he might be strained because he has other projects that isn't moving that well. So he might be separating some of the money. You never know what's happening. All it takes is a little slow payment. People might not be able to get the title together because it's one of them family titles, because that's what they do in the DR, and they couldn't get all together and agree. I mean, this is crazy stuff, but I like it. I like it. I'm loving it. No greater time to get involved if you're going to do it the right way and set everything off the right way, because then everybody else is going to have to catch up. They're going to be like, how is this happening? How are they doing this? We've been doing this for 2 years. I'm going to be like, hey, oh, and how did he get these workers over here? What's going on? And I'm telling you, so read this again. My villa is ready. They can't tell me when the title would be made available. I'm telling you, this is what the Simon residence is in P2, same thing. We don't have title. We don't know when it's going to be delivered, but we're calling delivery 2023. You can't deliver anything. You don't have title. It's going to take you, get this. What if it takes more than 3 months? What if they have an issue and they bought their property with this pseudo loan lending promissory note type stuff? So they still would have to transfer title into somebody's name. So I'm thinking a double transfer, maybe. That is going to take, add on 3 months for that, one coming, add on another 3. So you're not even knowing nothing for 5 or 6 months, potentially. I don't know how long Jawway's been waiting, but you can't buy anything if it doesn't have a title. And one other thing, this is all over the place. The beach, I'm in their group. They just now said to Jose de la Cruz, he bought there. And there's people talking about they're going to sell their unit inside the beach, right? Well, guess what? He asked the $1 million question. He's like, wait, how can you sell your villa if you don't have title? Bingo. How did you get your villa since you didn't have title? Oh, you just paid full cash and just moved in? What the? All kind of crazy stuff is going on, ladies and gentlemen. You would not believe it. People are doing the unthinkable. They are actually taking delivery, saying, okay, I'll wait on the title. That is loony. That is really loony. And there are people who are trying to sell not having the title, thinking they can do the same thing. I'm just like, this is getting ridiculous over here. I'm just like, that is not how this works. Get assets, says Victor Morero. Another shocking stat, about 25% of young adults ages 25 to 34 have had to move back with their parents for financial reasons. Exactly, Victor Morero, because they're not going to make $79,000 a year, $80,000 a year to move into a $2,000 one-bedroom or two-bedroom apartment. It's not going to work. Sam, it's pretty simple. That's why it's happening. Home prices and cost of living have forced them to do so. Exactly. And not to mention elderly 60 and up, 55 and up as well, because they own a home, they retired. Now they find out they got to pay an extra $10,000 a year between property taxes, insurance, and whatever else that they didn't count on when they retired 5 to 10 to 15 years ago. They don't get an extra $2,000 or $1,500 per month from their money that's coming in. It's happening on both ends, and guess who has the most people in the pockets? Baby boomers, and what Victor Morel said right here, 25 to 34. You combine them, it's like 60% of the population. And if you have 60% of the population and a financial deficit, where then is things going to come from? What middle class? If somebody starts calling the middle class somebody making $90,000 to $100,000 per year, we have problems. And ladies and gentlemen, we have problems. Because if you're going to start saying the middle class is $100,000 a year, that is going to be a problem, and it's now taking hold. Now, you want your financial freedom papers? What do you have to do? Well, stocks, bonds, real estate, making moves by having businesses so you can get tax write-offs so you have no taxes or a little bit of taxes, or you start doing offshore. Come along for the ride. By the way, when I go over there, I'm hoping that Glennie will I'll do a video, and I hope she'll explain this SRL thing. All right. And hopefully I'll let her say what deal she will give SSN Nation members if they want to get an SRL. Today, I found out that just like you have in Florida, you have to file your paperwork every month. That's what they have in the DR. Same thing by the 15th of every month. And they have a username, password to log in, things like that. So I was going to hire somebody, an accountant. And you know what he said? Just for doing the paper, he goes, I'll charge you $100 per month. It's a tax write-off, but at the same time, I'm not even doing business over there. I'm like, wait a minute, I can just log in and do it myself. That's what I'm thinking. I'm just like, well, then I don't know if it's really even worth the 100 because I don't have any real business going on until I hear from these guys in the next few days to a week. And then once that happens, then we're on. Then I'll deal with that. But I was just like, oh my God, really? This is like crazy. So now I have to log in because the accountant asked me for my username and password. And I'm like, what? What for? And then I found out. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Just like in America, Laverne Phoenix, A3 Safal. When I try to communicate with them, they give me the runaround. Oh, man, we got to add the wave to the list now. Damn. You guys know I'm going to have another video coming out, right? About the fraudulent activity that's going on. You know I'm going to have another one. I'll be adding the wave to it as well. Now, I have no problem with that. But the first one's going to be about this guy that's over in Vista Cana, ripping people off. He actually has people taking him to court. He's coming up first. All right. So he's out there right now still selling villas. He sells some, and then others he jacks people. So it has this air of legitimacy because he can take you to 4, 5, 6 people and say, yeah, he did a great job. I got my stuff. The rest of the people that he jacked, you won't know about because you would have to start looking at the court dockets to find his company or his name on it. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff is happening, ladies and gentlemen. So again, we will see. So far, what do you think of Cruise on Land? Joan Cantor, I just got to be candid with you. Cruise on Land has potential to be one of the best projects in the whole place due to the value that they're going to allegedly have there. When you start putting in a water park, that's going to be some massive 100,000 square meters is what they're saying. You know, that's a real water park. So when you start thinking on just that by itself, the water park downtown is $129 per adult per day. So if you had 4 people with you, you're going to be spending $500, really? $520, $550 for one day use, and that only gets you a wakeboard? Seriously? Meanwhile, you could be staying at a 2-bedroom. So how much is that 2-bedroom worth at Cruise on Land? Clearly, it's worth more than $200 per night if you got to pay $500 per day just to go there, right? So Cruise on Land on paper is like one of the best investments. But now let's get to the paper, because it's not all they have. They have over 100 amenities. So the things that they offer, such as the go-kart track that's going to come, the roller coaster that's going to come, the amphitheater, I mean, shops, bars, restaurants, another lake, a man-made beach lake. I mean, all this is going on, a recording studio. I mean, it's just crazy. Outside workouts and yoga spaces and sitting spaces and seating over water spaces. And I mean, agriculture spot. I mean, it's just insane. All the opportunities and things you have there. Casino. I mean, it's insane when they build it, right? But that's not my thing. My thing is their contract. That's my thing. I just don't like the wording. Yes, they have a somewhat of a deal. I think it was 3%, because there's a lot now. I think it's up to 3% they cover for inflation. Anything above 3%, they have something good that other contracts don't have. That is, if they go above 3%, and let's just say it went up to 6%, you're going to pay 3% more, not on your total purchase price, but on what you owe. Okay? That is something that is good on their side, considering other contract says that 3% would go on your price at the top. So if you had a property, we'll keep it easy, $100,000, and you've already put down 10%, so you owe 90. You've already made like 7-8 months worth of payments, so you might have paid another 10 G's. You would owe $80,000. So you would owe 3% more for 2023 on 80,000. So that'd be $2,400. But the other guys, like Macau, I think it is, they're going to add the 3% on your purchase price. So you would have to pay $3,000 because $100,000 was your purchase price. So that's one of the decent things they do. But the rest is just crazy, right? So, you know, your right to, what is it? Right to, if you try to sell your place, you got to go through them, you know, whatever. They're going to give you a value. They changed it from 60 days down to 30 days. That was great of them because, you know, I was bitching about what's this 60-day wait thing. I mean, if I have a buyer, what buyer is going to wait around 60 days to find out if I'm going to be able to sell to them? That's one of the problems. It's 30 days, but that's not the real deal. The real deal is the other side of that. They have in their contract that if you sell, they have to approve your buyer. So what if they don't approve your buyer? I don't want to find out. I'd just rather not even be in there. But they claim, oh, we're worrying about money laundering. I'm like, so that's your job. I said, the other part is, I'm like, so what happens if a guy has a loan? He's already been approved for anti-money laundering. Why do you care? So to me, that means something else. That's all I'm saying, right? So it's things like that in their contract. And then, of course, everybody says, what do I think? I mean, they're going to be late too, is what I think, because of the time frame it took them to build one level and put in 2 units. That took them a year. So how are they going to build 2 buildings that are 6 or 7 levels high with pools, with the snack bar in it, even though it's only 2 buildings? I don't see how they're going to do 2 buildings in a year and a half. I mean, let's face it. Plus put in whatever other, never mind. I won't even get into it. But anyhow, Cruise on Land, just look for my video where I took them off the list with the X through it. There's like 3 other things that I just can't remember off the top of my head with regard to their contract that makes them like, I mean, it's going to be one hell of a project because of the purchase prices. I will say that. If you can withstand the contract, fine. But they control the whole thing. You're not going to control anything. If you're in, by the way, if you own a Cruise on Land, you better find out what building you're in, because they started designating buildings. This is something that came up. They started designating buildings being like a renter's building and a owner's building. And then they came up with this thing that I don't really like either, where you have a shared rental pool. So if your unit rents at a higher clip, but then again, you're going to have their furniture package, which fine, you got to buy the furniture package to be in the rental pool. But if your unit rents more than somebody else's, it's shared. So if somebody who may not have any rental at all, they still share in the rental pool. So that's an interesting concept that's not new, but I don't really like that either. So now the question turns into, if I'm not in the rental pool, can I rent? Apparently you can. But again, like most places, they might have to approve your management company. Oh, one of the other things, you're not in the rental pool. You can only rent plus or minus 10%. So if you think those guys downtown are renting for $500 per night to go to the Caribbean Lake Park, you can look it up right now. You will say, damn, we have a whole park right here. This would be awesome. I think I want to rent. Well, if they got to pay $550 a day, I'll rent $400 a day for my 2-bedroom. So they can go any time of day, the whole week or whole 3 or 4 days they're here and not have to pay anything extra. That is sweet. They would think it's sweet as well. Well, the problem is if they're only renting at $295, you can't rent at $400. You can only go up 10% or below 10% of whatever their rental is for the rental program. So I'm just saying, it's things like that, because you could, in essence, make your unit look better than theirs. You guys have seen the models, right? I mean, they do look nice, but there is room for improvement because they're just usually they're using wood type products that look nice. They're sturdy, so you got to give them a little credit on that. But the thing is, it's kind of muted gray. It's the stuff you would do with the nice floral colors, like for being on an island. It's done very nice. But the thing is, it's not like luxurious. It's not like a next level up. So a person could be in a rental pool, do next level up, and then people would be looking like, oh man, I want to rent there. That's what they could be doing instead. But you can't. You can only go 10% higher. And is that fair? Well, it is fair because you know what they're doing. It's in the contract. Read the contracts, ladies and gentlemen. Have a lawyer. Go, if you're going to buy in the DR, you have to have a lawyer. Do not mess around. Okay? This is the thing. I'm going to tell you again. I use Johan Confidante. I use Glenny for my business. Johan gets first call for real estate. If Johan can't handle it, then I go see Glenny too. But Johan has negotiated with these developers for years. And again, I told people he saved the Panorama Garden, charged 18% more than the purchase price. That's damn near a fifth Because of Johan, I would have paid 10% max. That was my cap. So that was when he came to me and said, Eric, they're only going to get me a cap of 10%. How can you live with it? I said, okay, 123,000 or 135 or in between. I'm good in 2.5 years. Now it's 4 years later, but nonetheless. So they broke out 18%. So now the people who bought the same unit as me is going to pay almost $10,000 more than me because they didn't go see Johan, and they might even be subject to whatever else, because we actually modified that contract that they agreed to. I just can't remember what the other modifications, but there was some other stuff in there too. So $12,000, and all he charged me was 1%. That's it. And he would do the closing as well. So think about that. For 1%, come on. So another person, he saved, I don't even know what their purchase price was. 5% for their contract is Zeba cap. Zeba comes out and says 15%. That's crazy. So it's stuff like that, plus looking over your contract so you don't have these poison pills. He knows what the poison pills are. Let me get Johan's number here, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody on podcast, you guys can hear this as well. Let me put his info in the chat. Let him know you came from SSN Nation. I'm telling you, do not mess around over there for a 1% fee. All right? Let him know you're from SSN Nation. Eric sent you, but that's where you go. You go see him. All right? It's that simple. It's WhatsApp, Dominican Republic, +1 809-757-1573. It's +1 809-757-1573. And it's in the chat room, occlawyers.com. Let them know Eric sent you SSN Nation, all right? Because again, since Mo's here, you know what that means. You know what that means when we start talking about Mo, Johan, Yahweh J. I'm assuming you'll not be able to move in until title is in hand, correct? See, therein lies the problem, Joe Nay. What they did at the beach is they let people move in without having title. Can you see what happens is some people actually paid 100%. So they give them options, right? They're like, right, you can move in. We're working on title. But see, I want you guys to notice how long. This isn't, that does, just because you're a developer does not mean you're immune from how long. Same thing that happens with an individual could happen with a developer. 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. And you're waiting for delivery, but it's a mess like that could happen. So therefore, we're going to shortcut it because we're not going to put ourselves in that situation to begin with. So we'll make it that much easier for us. All right, E. You know they're going to shut your live stream down when you talk about stocks. Mo, I know, man. I know. It's crazy, right? Like clockwork. And people don't think we ain't shadow banned and ain't watching. Every freaking time we start talking about yield max ETFs, it's like shut down. James Way, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon next to your name. And thank you so much for that. And he says, hello, all. Got the notifications. That's 5 people this evening. I smell George's Charles smelling money. Got to stay close by because the rent is too damn high. Oh, that was a good one, James Way. Oh, the rent is too damn high. How do we stop the rent from being too damn high? We get our financial freedom papers. Part of that is getting passive income or semi-passive income while you're sleeping. Check. Part of that is to get some real estate and multi-units. So then that way, if you're not making rent from one or two, you're making rent from the other ones. So you have profits coming in. Check. Then you create businesses that already exist. You buy those, tweak them. You have profits coming in. Check. All right. It's that simple, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to make it any simpler than that. That's how simple this is. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. All right. You have your own little nuances. Like I'm about to reinvent the wheel on the island, right? I'm going to be making some enemies, but it's okay. I'm used to that. James Way. I already have a guy. This is so funny. This guy is like trying to show me property and stuff. Then come to find out, he's like, oh, I'm holding this for me. I'm like, you're the competition. Wait a minute. I need to start talking to some other people. You over here, why didn't you mention right next door, the guy selling a lot right next door to the lot he's telling me that was available. And then I'm like, wait, it's in the same place? You're just now telling me this after a week? Well, I was going to get it. What the frick? You're competition now. If this is what you're saying, now I have to look side-eye like, oh, no. I need new friends. With friends like these, I don't need enemies. Come on now. A3 Saval, let Laverne Penix really, wow, that's not good. When I reached out to my lawyer, Johan, the other day, they had no idea what's going on. They said the project never told them anything. Exactly, A3 Saval. Hey, look, I don't know about the wave, but I actually had a conversation with Johan about a week and a half ago about this exact same thing. And that's when he started telling me, he says, hey, man, all these projects have bought land. They have a somewhat of a pseudo deal where they have the right to build and use as long as they make payments. And he goes, a large percentage of these guys. I'm like, what are you saying? I'm like, so how are these guys doing this stuff? And then that's when it dawned on me, plus other information came to light where I was like, no wonder these guys aren't building in a year or two. Because they can't. They're collecting that pre-construction money, which is fine, but they don't have the title that they can do stuff because you're going to need permits. Clear. You're going to have architectural designs. So it's one of those things. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. Yeah, the wave has been silent. And like I said, I don't know if you guys have been out there. Maybe Jawway J, A3 Saval, you've been out there. You know, at one time they had like this little fence. Now it's, I don't know, it's like 8 feet high. So you can't even see over it. And when the last time I was there was no break in it, and I couldn't even hear anything going on in there. It seemed like it was silent. I was just like, damn, who are these guys? Who are these builders? We got to take a builder's check. I have my lawyers looking into it now. Yeah, you have no choice. Hey, no one. Hey, you know what? Yeah, I've been hitting up Johan. I ain't been hearing back from him. I'm thinking a whole bunch of people are having issues. I'm thinking he's over all of the island from all the people who are having late delivery. He must have, oh man, I can only imagine hundreds of calls. Hundreds. It must be insane. Because there's late in Las Terranas. They're late in Samana. They're late in Santo Domingo. They're late in Punta Cana area. I mean, this is insane. I can only imagine what lawyers are going through. Joe Nay says Coney is talking about $2.69 dividend on the 9th. I paid attention. I put my money in some stock shares in Punta Cana Investments. That's right. Smash the like button for the Joe Nay attack. He's coming for the takeover 2024 SSN Nation style. You're damn right. I love it. He's winning. I love it. He's getting his financial freedom papers early. He's not waiting till he's 50 or 40 or 35, 50, 60, 70, 80. He says, I want mine now, and I want to short circuit it. I don't want to take 30 years to do it. I want to short circuit this to 5 or less. That's what we're doing here, ladies and gentlemen, and congratulations, because the Federal Reserve, they are going to have to make a decision we're almost like, what is this? 45 days. They got to make a decision. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. But that is great news, because I think if you buy Coney tomorrow, Wait. When's the ex-dividend date? You could actually get a part of this $2.69 share price. I think, in fact, hold on. Let me see. Let me go see. No, I can't show you on screen. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me see. Man, they're giving, today's the 5th. This is insane. Let me go look this up. Yield Max ETFs. Hopefully they won't turn me off. Yield Max ETFs. Let's see what we got. Yeah, well, we're going to be, let's see, we'll get to Coney. Jesus, TSLY is off the charts. That's insanity. What the hell happened there? Holy smokes. Where's Coney at? Let me go see Coney real quick. All right, Coney. That means all you have to do is go to Yield Max ETFs. You click on it. Oh, Jesus, this distribution rate is outrageous. What's the share price? Yeah, ex-dividend date was today. Too late, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't have it, you can't get in because the ex-dividend date's today, or record date is the 8th. That's interesting. But it's $2 it was $2 last month too. Wow. Coney's blowing up. Isn't that, I'm not even in Coney, I don't think. I got to double check. I don't think I'm in Coney. Now I got to, Jesus Christ, I have to get in with Coney now. $20. Closing price, $20.75 today. Wow. How is this possible? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go do your own due diligence. All right. That's what you have to do. Make sure you do your own due diligence. Sorry, I was late. I wasn't sure, but yeah, I'm a bit scared. I invested in Cruise on Land. Joan Cantor. Hey, Joan, everybody's a little nervous because these guys they're doing ambitious projects in the middle of nowhere. So it takes a lot of tree pulling, rock busting, doing all these things. And there may be a low amount of laborers to boot. So now you start calculating. So what is it? It's 1 year and a half. 1 year and where are we at? February. 1 year and 8 months. They're supposed to build things that nobody has built in 1 year and 8 months. I mean, let's face it, that's what it is. And their first phase will not include that man-made beach. They've already admitted it's only going to include a partial part of it, which is weird. I don't know why they would even say that. But I don't know what's going to be in the first phase, but I know the first 2 buildings are supposed to be, and they got another 15 to go. So to me, we start looking at a beach type situation where those guys have 24 buildings and they're all doing hip hip hooray when they only have 8 buildings. I'm just like, yeah, but you got another 21. And nobody here is building 5-story towers in 6, 8, 9 months. So how long is it going to take you to build like another 20 buildings? I mean, seriously, this is getting insane. So the good news is if you're in building 1 or 2, that's not out of reach yet. A year and a half to build 2 buildings is not out of reach. That's 9 months. If they got their ass moving and they were actually out there right now building, then have a foundation in and moving, they would be doing pretty good. But something tells me they're not. Remember, they're a company out of South America, by the way. And remember this, if you bring items into the country, you got to pay import taxes. Comfortour, if you're a developer, lightens you don't have to pay that much in import taxes, if anything at all. So that's one of the reasons they try to have Comfortour early. Because if you're trying to bring equipment that's worth $20 million or $10 million, you don't want to pay import taxes on that, do you? Hell no. Because it's no joke in the DR. Taxes are for real. Businesses pay 27%. You don't get this. It's what you can do over here. You collected $1 million, you're giving up 27%. All right. It's crazy. All right. Joe Nay. He's saying that I was in the DR embassy in DC today. I was advised that DR Polygon just doesn't have the workers. Joe Nay, that is good advice because you can see it yourself. Not, look, just what Joan Cantor was saying. Cruise on land, Larimar, everything in Vistacana. Atlanta opened up their doors and gates, acting like they're going to build something. Just those 4 projects alone, and then you include downtown, and then you include Cap Cana, then you include La Romana. Where are you going to get all the workers? Because the workers who are working now are working on projects that were already needing to be built 2 years ago. You can't take them off site to go somewhere else until you finish that one. And as soon as you finish that one, the other one's already behind. And now you've got to try to run catch up on that. But meanwhile, they're there. They're not on the other one that they're promoting now, for instance. So they're exactly right. We all figured this part out. So what are we going to do about it if we want to be in the game? Well, stay tuned. Everybody can figure it out that's in business. But for whatever reason, the guys in the DR, they're greedy. See, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Let me give you guys something that you can think about. Look, listen to what I'm about to tell you. So there was a proposal that came across, and I'll just tell you in the Dominican Republic, you guys might like this. 200 units. Studio unit was going to cost $125,000. All right. And it was going to be this is, I can't remember. Was a studio, was I think it was 45 or 50 square meters. The 1 bedroom was going to be like 70 square meters, something like this. Or was that the 2 bedroom? Anyhow, I think it was a 2 bedroom now that I'm thinking about it. 1 plus 1, they're calling a 2 bedroom some funky. I was like, look, just stop. If you're going to do anything, just do at least 80 meters for a 2 bedroom. Charge $150. That's still below the $180,000, $190,000 price in 2024, soon to be 200s. So I was like, do it that way, SSN Nation style. And maybe instead of 200 units, you have 175 or 160, but you're making an extra $25,000 per unit to offset the less units. So it comes out to the same damn thing or more. Actually, it comes out to more. Just make them all 2 bedrooms then. Make few 1 bedrooms. That's a nice size. And then make a 2 bedroom that's at least 80. The reason why I said 80 square meters is simple. So you can have 2 master suites and a half bath. That's much better than just 2.5 baths. All right. So that's why I said make it that. Then make the penthouse units like 195, 200. Done. Delivery time. They say 3 years. I say done. Because I said take an extra year for title issue. Straight up the box. And as long as they agree with my other provisions, such as no price increase, such as any penalty along the way if delivery schedule is off, then there's going to be a penalty for the builder. As long as we have that in the contracts, I'm down. If you don't want to join the party, then hasta la vista. I'll do it myself. Because I know where to get the help we're going to need. But yes, Joe Nay, everybody can see it. There's too many projects. That's the problem. You can't build. I don't even know how many projects are in the DR. You can't have like 400 projects all over the island and then figure out, well, we only have 15,000 workers. Well, then there's going to be a problem. New projects are coming out now. So what are you going to do? Santo Domingo, Santiago isn't having a big problem with pre-construction and dissatisfied customers reference to delivery problems. We're able to get their money back. See, there we go, Joe Nay. There we go right there. Get their money back. See, that is something that's working its way to Punta Cana and elsewhere. When I show up, that's going to be in my contracts. I'm going to have it where that's the penalties that the developers. And I told it, look, I'm just straight up. I told these guys, okay, go on and be late. Go on and do anything. It's coming out of your end. You want to play around? I'm not the one. We're going to have you. That's the only way we doing business. You signing those agreements. Otherwise, you ain't in. You ain't doing it. Sorry. You're only doing it my way or highways. That's it. We're not playing these games where you're like, oh, yeah, force majeure. Oh, yeah. No, don't count. You ain't shutting down. The only way you shutting down is if there's a bona fide hurricane that blew through, blew over something, and even then we back to work 2 days, 1 day later. We know what high winds are on the island. Don't act like hurricanes are major. All your buildings are damn near cement. Come on now, stop playing with me. I'm not no gringo out here. Stop it. You don't get to stay off for 3-4 months because of a hurricane. Stop it. We don't have water, sewer, and plumbing built in a building. So who cares? We can be out there as soon as it blows through if we wanted to be, but we're going to be courtesy just in case something happened to you. We'll give you 2-3 days, but we ain't giving you 2-3 months to go chill and then tell people, oh man, we're going to be late another year and a half because of a hurricane that happened 2 years ago. That ain't happening. That ain't working. No force majeure situations, even though we'll have it in the contract, but behind the scenes, there ain't going to be one because there's going to be things like they have that 6-month after BS nonsense. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. It's SSN Nation contracts for the developer and for the buyers, and it's going to be buyer friendly. No more of this. We're trying to rip the buyers off. If the buyers want their money back, they can have their money back. If you're taking too long, they can get their money back. Too bad, so sad. It's coming out of your end. It ain't coming out of my end. That's all I know. I'm saying it. I mean, like, I'm running this. I don't know what these guys are thinking. Because if, like I told the guys today, I said, I don't need you. I don't really need you guys. I'll do it myself. I never signed my addendum for pricing. Oh, A3 Saval. A3 Saval. There's no addendum. The project emailed me 2 weeks ago, reminding me to sign it. Oh, now that my project is delayed, now I may negotiate back to my original price. Good luck with that. That is a first. I'm surprised that they're not just going to screw you in the end, but I don't know if you can get away with not signing it. I don't know if you can, because the way the laws are working, like CRISPR, Epic, they just came up and everybody 18% more, 15% more, 10% more. You can find it if you want, but you're gonna have to go to court. And even then, I don't think you're gonna win. But that doesn't mean you're not gonna win. I'm not an expert. I haven't seen court cases there to find, the final outcomes. So, but you're gonna have to spend money. That's the problem. Brian P., welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. He has that icon next to his name. I appreciate it. The clever investor is not that guy that was on Shark Tank. This is the man here making hay with the YieldMax ETFs. He has the Coney. He has the TSLY. He has a few others, and he's going to be collecting on average. I don't even know what the average is going to be this time. What, $2? Because Coney is $2.60 for a $20 share. They're giving 10% this month. That's over 10%. The share is $20.73, and they're giving $2.60 cents. That's insane. That's damn near 11%. 12% in 1 month. And last month they gave $2. So they got $5 and something for a $20.73 today price share. Ladies and gentlemen, that is significant. I mean, in my mind, that's high risk. So I can only say these YieldMax ETFs, they give high rated returns like this. It's high risk. Study, make sure this meets your investment type. Otherwise, don't do it. Brian P. says, hello, Eric. I hope all is well with you. Yes, man. Everything is well. I'm learning so much information from so many different angles. And like I said, I'm hoping I get an email from the bank tomorrow. Yes, there's something else going on, ladies and gentlemen. You guys, oh my God. I got the keys to the castle almost. They unlocked something. If these guys send me back what I think they're going to send me back, oh, the party's on. Remember that 200-unit apartment complex I'm talking about? It's going down if I get this, the guys at the bank say, oh, yes, Eric, yes. I'm going to be like, oh, I'm making a phone call. We're going to lock it up. I'll have it by Friday. It's going to be sick. Hello, Eric. I hope all is well. Hello, SSN family. Yes, all is well. I got the notification and saw the trailer. That's 6 people tonight. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Who else saw the trailer, received the notification? I know not many of you will, because they give it out to about 10% of our subscribers receive notifications. The only way you're going to see the trailer is if you came into the live stream. So that way I can only say I know what's happening. All right, let's go. We're going to keep it going. Brian P., a clever investor he is. He says he smashed that like button. I like it. Do it, ladies and gentlemen, please. So the YouTube gods can't complain. And if you like what we're talking about getting your financial freedom papers, first up, let's get things straight. Your credit, you need to get rid of it. What I mean by that is pay it down. That'll boost your credit score up at the same time, because you're going to need credit or you're going to need a vehicle for funding. Some of you may be watching this right now. If you need to fund something, I suggest you hit me up. I'm not like the old school guys. I'm not sitting here telling you, hey, send me your information, put in an email list. We'll call you, or wait, by the way, if we fund you, give me 10% or 5%. No, that's not what we do. What we do is we make sure that you have a viable product. That's it. All I do is sit up there and say, like, we have a person who sent me something that said, hey, Eric, this guy's selling his hotel for $7.4 million. I said, great. Brian P. says, we are making money in here. When he says that, you make money in real estate before you buy it. So when somebody says to me, hey, I need money, I don't have the down payment, I need $7.4 million for a hotel. I know we have some smart people, investors in here. You guys know good and well, if I have to pay, let's just say 11%, interest only for 1 year, not me, but you. I mean, that's what I'd have to pay too, but you too. I can get you the money, but the problem is you already know it's 11% that you have to pay interest only. So you know in your head before you even talk, if somebody says they made 7.4, then you know good and well they better have over $800,000 NOI. That's net operating income. That's money after all expenses. Better be on the last year or 2 years IRS tax returns signed by a CPA. Okay. So if you come and say, oh, they only made $500,000, well, then clearly it's not worth $7.4 million. Sorry, can't buy it. But now if you came back and said, you won't believe this, they make $1,100,000, $1,050,000. All of a sudden, an investor dude would say, damn, I can get 11% on my money. And that looks safe. And there's some rooms that they need rehab. Some rooms are down. We can actually put more rooms in service. How much does it cost? About $10,000 per room. Okay, give them 7.6. Because you put those in circulation. Now, instead of you making $1,050,000, now you made $1,175,000. Now everybody's happy. You're making more profit. They make sure they get their money. In a year from now, you get to go to the bank and say, hey, I want $8.5 million. You cash them out. Everybody wins. That's how simple this is. And did I say you didn't need your own credit check, no qualifying, and no down payment? But the numbers have to make sense. Welcome to the top 1%er club. You got keys. You got access. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Hit me up. You know the parameters. Just pretend you need to pay somebody 11, 12% interest only, because sometimes the guys ask for, well, the highest ever has been like 14%, but that's rare. So you're going to be like 11, 12 most of the time. So as long as whatever you need funded is getting that type of revenue to pay that back safely, and maybe even have an upside is even better, you can probably get some funds. And you don't even need credit. You don't even need down payment yourself. You don't need nothing. They're just shipping the whole damn thing. I mean, come on. So I'm about to pull this myself back into I came out of retirement. I let the guys know I'm out of retirement. So I got some projects that we're going to be working on. And so I have a few. They have the master title. Yahweh J's already done learned. He done learned. They have the master title. That does them no good, Yahweh J. But they said they have applied for individual units and should be ready by April. There we go. There we go. And Yahweh J, let people know, when did they say ready by April? Did they say this like February, or did they say this like in December? Because see, April is 4 months from now. February, March, April, 3 months. See, ladies and gentlemen, this is the situation right here. Why didn't they do the individual titles along the way? And now what could end up happening, because they have one master title that I was telling you guys about, they haven't officially transferred it into their names. Now they have to break them up. But that is another time-consuming situation. According to Jay, if they told them that in February, that's 3 months later. That is about right. They could have told them that in January or December. But either way, that's about right. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So when these guys are late, this is what's going on behind the scenes that people don't know about. There's all kind of stuff. So this does not surprise me at all when I heard you use this term master title. This is exactly what they're doing. And actually, the master title could actually not be fully vetted. And that could be a problem because of the way they buy. So there's several things. Now they say could be ready or should be ready by April. But if this is a master title that I think it is, I don't think they're actually did the first part, or I'll call it the second part, where it has been transferred into their name officially. That's what I think. So Yahweh J, let me know how long you've been hearing about this. Was it just now, or was this in December, November? When was it? All right, Yahweh J, is there anything in your contract that mentions deadline to deliver title to you? No, it's just like everybody's, within 60 days. But here's the kicker. Even with Simon Residences, they said 3 months or more. And now that I know what I know, now I know why it's 3 months or more. So all this is going in. It's crazy. Crazy what's happening out here. Crazy. Eric, the whole real estate and banking intermediary needs to be overhauled. Exactly, Yahweh J. I will say this. That's another little area that I'm noticing is a little slow. So the best thing that can happen is bypass. See, so let's put it to you a different way. So let's say you want to buy property and you want to be a big time developer and you found some swath of land and you want to do 500,000. They're so used to people coming in saying, hey, I have $100,000. Can I get a loan for the other 400,000? So all you doing is tying things up, right? You got to submit paperwork, and the DR, ladies and gentlemen, it ain't like in America. Go on and submit paperwork. You don't have Johan as your attorney and helping with your banking. Go on and do that. You're going to find out you might not even get your account for a month. Like me with BLH, I wanted to see what would happen when I didn't have Gresha helping us out of Johan's office. I just went down to BLH to do it myself, just like a regular person. I gave them my tax returns. I gave them my, because I'm self-employed, I had to give them my LLC statement to show them I'm the owner of record for that. So that's when they see my tax statements. Had to give them that. Had to give them 6 months worth of bank statements. Had to give them my passport, my ID. I'm missing something. I had to give them something else as well. And I gave that to them. Then After I came in, signed something, 2 or 3 days later, I went back. I had to sign a W-9, which I'm like, wait, you went to U.S.? Whatever. But nonetheless, so I signed that. I leave December 15th. January 15th, I get a thing sent over. Congratulations, you have an account. A month later, what do you think they're doing with loans? I mean, I was like, if this is how long you take for opening up a bank account, what's going to happen if I need a loan? I think it's going to go past 60 days. That's what I think. I just can't see it, because that's not even anything to open a bank account. To get a loan, they start checking other things, such as maybe credit and having to look at a few other little things they need. So I agree with you. So what do? We bypass. So what do I mean by bypass? If you're lucky enough to like I said, do what I just described, then if you need a $500,000 loan, you can be taken all year. It's a lot better if 500,000 hits your bank account. Let's do the business, right? You don't have to worry about banking loans and things like that, right? You have a loan in place, but it's off book, which is also a beautiful thing as well. It's not in the system. Nobody even knows about it until it's too late, until they're building and like, who the hell is this? But anyhow, that's what I love, man. We're going to make this crazy. Eric, tell Glennie, I said, no better. I'm not like that with Glennie. Okay, man. I don't know, man. It's not appropriate for me to do this. Oh man, you're trying to get all the SSN Nation upset. They're already upset at me. They're upset. Jonay, yes. If you don't have the title, you can't get an appraisal and you can't get a loan from the bank. Thank you, Jaway J. This is exactly the thing right here. I didn't even want to say anything because I figured we'll get there, but here we are. He's got it exactly right. So now your delivery, like I was saying, he's looking at 7, 8, 9 months on delivery. Best case scenario, and that's if and when they get the title to you. So now let's just say in April, let's say they get the title to him in April. Guess what happens next? That triggers the appraisal. The appraisers may not be going out there tomorrow or the next day. They might not be going out till next week, a couple weeks from now, maybe 3 weeks from now. Then you go get a loan and they take their sweet time and it's a month and a half later. This could be a 6-7 month process. See where we're going with this? Why? All because when they finished, they didn't have title like they should have. So on delivery, they were supposed to hand him a title once he paid. And then he was supposed to get a loan, which might take 60 to 90 days if he's going to get a loan. That's how it's supposed to go. But without a title, we don't know what's going to happen. Here we go. DR is that they don't use a closing company like the USA. Once you pay, the builder gives you a paid in full clearance document that you take to the title office and put in counter to get your title. Victor Marrero, I know what you're saying. If you're Dominican, I guess it may be easier. But the problem is that paid in full clearance document, that's doing you no good. And like Jaway J, he's not the only developer that has this situation. Just like I said, Primavera 2, Simon Residences said delivery in December, but we don't have titles. So now what? Paid in full means nothing. We can't go down and get the title. Why? What's their names? Don't even have the damn title in their name. Half the time, 90% of the time. See, that's where the problem's coming in. It's a problem. So just like they got to get title to these people, they're standing in line and they need a loan. So you can't get a loan, just like you said, with the paid in full notice, which I don't know where you'll get that from, but so far, that doesn't mean you're getting a title. And you know paid in full doesn't get you a title. They have to do a title release or something, just like well, I'm assuming like America. I haven't went that far yet, and I'm never going to probably go that far, quite frankly. I'm a bypass. It looks like this has to be cash only. All right, A3 Saval. And by the way, guys, I'm just going to say this. So you guys might want to hold tight. If I get the deal done like I want to get done, then I'm actually going to move into helping you guys. Not so much with the title, because I can't help you with that unless you buy a project that I'm doing, but funding and things like that in the DR, that's what I'm going to help with. All right. But there's nothing I can do without a title, right? Just like a pawn shop or one of them auto pawn type places, you need title. In order to back it up with something, you have to have title. And if these guys have no title, you're not getting anything. Seems like developers in DR trying to cut corners and empty promises. DR real estate has so much potential, but they're getting in their own way. Exactly, A3 Saval. That's exactly it. That's it. This thing of ours, they're messing it up. And they're messing it up at the beginning where you have thousands of people excited. And then you got thousands of people after sitting around for 3 years, 4 years, maybe even 5 in some instances. Some people are getting salty. And so now what's that going to breed? That just gets breeding the people that used to come in our chat rooms going, don't buy in the DR. We're warning you. Right? Now you have more people with warning signs. So something has to give. And like I say, there's always a virus that hits the system. And if I get my way and these guys cut me a check for a few mil, the virus will be on the island. I'm just saying it. Careful, Eric. If he's next door to the lot, he's trying to sell you. It sounds like a setup. Exactly. Sounds shady. Quadruple check. Oh, best believe, like I said, Mo, I've been around this type of stuff before. You know what? Here's the funny part. So I already assume shady because, like I said, just what you're saying right now. Soon as he said that he wanted the lot, I was like, well, then what are you doing? I'm immediately like, okay, you're the competition. I just tell them straight up because I know that's what this is now. Immediately, you're on the suspect list. So that means ultimately I got to have face-to-face with the actual owner. He don't get to be middleman. Because I know now he's competition. So that also is probably where he's trying to do. The guy selling it at a lower price per square meter, he's trying to add on his 10 or 15, you know. So we will find out. Ex-dividend date for Coney is Wednesday, February 7th. Where'd you see that, Victor Moreau? No. That's not what. Hold on a second. Let me see. No, it's the. Oh, it's not out yet. I was looking at January 5th. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well, then wait a minute. Wait a minute. Then how did Brian P know about the distribution? It's not even. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Is this behind the times? Just a second. Maybe I got to click on their schedule. Maybe I'm behind the times. Nope. It still says 1415. Where'd you guys get that information about it's going to be $2.60? Oh, wait. What's this? Here it is. Wait, what? Hold on. It says declaration date is 2/14. Ex-dividend date is 2/15/2024. Record date is payment date is 2/20. So it's not going to be in a few days. I think you might have saw last year's. So I was wondering how, well, it says 1/4 right here. Distribution schedule for covered called AETFs. Oh, there's two different funds ETFs. Interesting. There's two things going on with Coney. Or no, who is this? This is not Coney. Hold on a second, ladies and gentlemen. There's something weird going on. Coin option income. Is that Coinbase? That's interesting. Oh, I see. Okay, there's two different things going on. I didn't even realize it. Okay, we're going to try this one last time. $2.69. Declare date 1/4. I don't have anything for 2/4. So where are you guys getting this at? But then again, you know, you guys are special. Buy Coney, Charles Schwab, SoFi, Robinhood, Fidelity, Ameritrade, E-Trade, Vanguard, Mellon, Interactive Brokers. Yeah, they're everywhere. All right. Thank you for that information, Victor Marrero, because I don't know how you found it. Eric, you're looking at January. The Feb dividends aren't out until 6 February with an ex-dividend of 7 Feb. Payment Friday. Are you sure dividends can't be out tomorrow then? The ex-dividend date has already passed for February. So that's weird. We will see. But nonetheless, people are getting dividends tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. $2 per share. Victor Marrero says those builders use Haitian labor to finish their projects. Some are legal, but the majority are illegals. It's cost effective for the builders. That's correct. Just like in the United States, these will fall under an engineer who's from DR or USA. Exactly. Okay. FYI, for those with Coinbase, if you have Coinbase and have Ethereum, you now can earn 10% APY in staking rewards. Wow. If you have ETH just parked there, you should stake for additional income. That is valuable information. Geez, you guys need to write that down for all you crypto heads out here. Coinbase, ETH, 10% APY. It's worth it if it's sitting there. Gotta love it. They told me this in late November. Jaway J, I had a feeling. As soon as you said it, that's 6 months. That's exactly right. That's exactly about right. That means they got the land under the other, like you said, master title, which I call a red deed. And that means they have to transfer it to themselves. That's going to take 3 months. Best case scenario. And then it's going to take another 3 months. So that makes perfectly good sense. Perfectly good sense. There we go. The master title could be in their name, but they still got to do another title either way. And I'm glad to hear the master title's in their name, because at least that's not going to take another 6 months. So I guess by April is probably right. November, they told you that. So November, December, January, February, March, April, 6 months. Individual units, I don't know how long that takes. It's not like there's only 3 units. So who knows? I have no idea, but 3 to 6 months is what it's going to take. That's what I'm trying to get you guys to understand. There's more going on, and there's these things, these guys being late has to do with a lot of different things. Mostly paperwork. But I'm glad to hear at least it's in their name. It's not one of these funky things where they got to transfer it into their name. But then again, the question is, why didn't they do this before? So I'm still not going to let them off the hook about them not transferring. I think they probably transferred it last year. That's what I'm thinking. And then now, after they got that transfer, now they're transferring it to the people. There's some things out here, like I said, when I do the next fraud video, here's what the guy did. He got the title, and instead of transferring it to the owner, he went down and got a loan against the property for half of the value, and then didn't do nothing and said, see you later to the guy. That's why he's in court right now. Curtis Davis, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream, and the dogs are coming out. So we got to cut it short, Mr. Financial, because I got to go to a break real fast. Not that fast. So check it out. You know what this means. Let's go.
Come on, come on.
Welcome back. Let's go. Curtis Davis just showed up. Mr. Financial is here. Welcome once again to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon next to your name as well. And notice I mentioned he's AKA Mr. Financial, and thank you so much for that icon. And he says, good evening, SSN family. ABMM means always be making money. You want your financial freedom papers? That's what you have to do. You want no taxes? You need a business. You want passive income? You need to buy assets. Buy assets that pay you, ladies and gentlemen. And Curtis Davis does nothing but try to help you out. How? He comes here and drops knowledge. Then he cut his own channel in YouTube land. Chili Davis, Chilly Davis. Go show some love at his channel. Smash the like buttons on the videos. Subscribe to his channel and click the all notification bell because he drops information throughout the day, evening, and night. You just never know when it's coming, and you could use it in after hours, early morning trading. You just never know. So show some love. He's over 1,000 subscribers, so therefore he's eligible for monetary gains here. So go show some love, please. Thank you once again, Curtis Davis. We're in and out. DR doesn't have title companies, exactly. That the banks here in USA use to provide you closing papers, exactly. So that's one of the last frontiers. They need title companies. I wish I knew how that worked, but it's nothing more than a middleman making sure what lawyers do anyhow. So I'm surprised that nobody has set up known as the go-to guys when it comes to title transfers. I'm shocked on that one. But nonetheless, we will see what happens because this is how it goes, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta have things in place. Simple. And he's right. And unfortunately, because of that, and Victor Morel, he's married to a woman that's Dominican, and he knows also that the families transfer titles amongst themselves and record them a certain way. And that causes havoc when you actually try to get a master title, because then you have to go all the way back. And it could be 20 years. It could be 30 years where people, grandmother transferred to the son transferred to the daughter. And then you go down to get everything straight, and then you're looking for everybody. If somebody didn't transfer it, but somebody lives on the land and they didn't transfer it officially, now that person's going, I'm not moving. Now you're finding out the person doesn't own it that lives there. Where's the person? Oh, they're dead. Can you imagine? Jeez, that would be bad. So that's the kind of stuff going on there. And hey, that's the lay of the land. That's why as a builder developer, you need to know what the title situation is straight up. But these guys didn't care. They're just going, oh, I can get these acres and we'll sort this out later in 3 years, but it's not getting sorted out. So that's all I'm saying. They're putting themselves in certain situations. That's a good question for the lawyer, but my understanding is that the documentation the builder gives you is legal binding document. Victor Marrero, no. No, that contract that you have is not legally well, it's legally binding, but that does not give you access to title. You can't just go to the bank and say, hey, man, I paid this off, and they stamped it and said I'm good. You're not going to get a loan because they're going to go, where's the title? And if they haven't issued it to you, then you can't give them because when you give them the loan, or if you get a loan, you need to give them title, right? They got to hold it, so to speak, until you pay. They're the lien holders. So I'm just saying that in traditional forms, you can't just use your contract. So you definitely not going down to the bank being all good if you don't have title. Like Jaway J, he can't just go down to the bank and get a loan. They're gonna be like, oh, they're doing appraisals too. So there's no way. You can't get a loan anyhow. You don't have title. And so without a title, you can't get it. And you can't go down if you have an IOU of 30% or 40% or whatever. There's just no way. Some YouTubers try to estimate that the yield max dividends will be based on the number of call options that ETF is closed. Could be. I don't know their actual formula, which is kind of interesting. Hey, Eric, QQQY is paying tomorrow. Brian P, he's got some love there. Again, we're talking about hundreds of shares, ladies and gentlemen. So if you had 500 shares, you got about a little under $400 coming tomorrow for 1 month. That's pretty good. That's real good, isn't it? Dividend, passive income. You want wealth, you want your freedom papers. This is where you should be residing at. Right here, every Monday, residing right here, paying attention to what these gentlemen are saying because they're doing the damn thing. You want your Robinhood and Webull, get your free stocks from Robinhood and Webull. You still haven't yet? Down below in the description, below the video, please click on the link. Why? You get free shares. I get free shares. None below. All right. With Webull, though, you have to actually deposit money now, whether it's $1 or more. You're good, but they'll give you free shares. And then I'll get a few fractional shares. Cool. Win-win. And then now you know some of the stocks that you might want to consider to get dividends, right? It's that simple. Not that bad. It's great. It's money making Monday live stream. Nobody else is out here telling you just what to do with your own money. Study yourself. Even though we can tell you stocks to buy, that doesn't mean you should listen to us. You need to go figure out if this is going to fit your portfolio, if this is what risk factors you want to play with. Because the higher the return, the higher the risk. It's that simple. That's how it always is. Because if it wasn't high risk, then there wouldn't be high return. You would have to go with something like an 8% or 2% or 3%. That's low risk. The lower the return, the lower the risk. Or you can go to Wealthfront. Wealthfront is down below. You put in $500, $600, they manage it for free. You put in $1,000 for free. $2,000, they manage for free. Up to $4,999 in your account, they manage for free. Wealthfront link is down below. Go check out Wealthfront. If you don't want to deal with stocks, just go with Wealthfront. That'll help you out. All right. Some of you may be saying, hey, I need to start business. Fine. Brian P. Hey, Eric, I just purchased 2 1993 Derek Jeter rookie cards, autographed, I hope. A 95. Is it 95 rated? Let us know. Let us know, ladies and gentlemen. 95 rated. Just keep that in mind. You did not mention where you're getting these cards from, so I'm guessing you still want to hold out on the SSN Nation from being a bidding against you, because I think it's on a website somewhere. So that's pretty cool. All right. So here we go. This is just awesome stuff tonight. Thank you all for being here. If there's anything else you want to discuss tonight, please do so. Oh, by the way, I do want to discuss something. We have a lot of people here who are buying real estate in the Dominican Republic. Look, I'll say this again. I left Johan's information in the chat room. I'll leave it here again. Do not, if you don't even use Johan, that's fine. But do not sign contracts without a lawyer. Take them up. Okay, some lawyers will say, We'll check it out for like 250, 500 bucks, whatever. Why go that route? Just get the lawyer that's going to handle the closing ultimately. Give them their generally 1%, right? And then that way down. Two. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have just a small little problem. Hold on a second. There we go. All right, I'm back. We're mobile right now. Just a little, what can you say? Electronic malfunction for the time being, but nothing major. All right, now EB2, that's right, founder. Okay, Brian P., I see you. Auction Zip, never heard of this company, Auction Zip. That's interesting. All right, so I'm back on the other side, so we'll get there in a second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a little, we're going to throw down a commercial. All right, then I'll be off here. Hold on a second. Let's see. Let's see how we're going to do this. Okay. Hold on a second. Commercial time. Is this? Oh, no wonder. Forgot on the phone how it looks. All right, haven't done this in a while on the phone. All right, look at this. Look at this. Oh, better. We're at Johan's office, and I'll be back in a second.
Hello, everybody.
My pleasure.
I see it. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, man. Courtesy of Johan and his team. My lawyer, your lawyer, everyone's lawyer of Punta Cana. These are the guys, these are the people, these are the staff that make it happen for us. All right. Look at us, y'all. Your lawyer doesn't do this for.
This is crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. As Mo said, your lawyer don't do this. He's exactly right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so I'm trying to figure out how to get out of here now. Can't remember. Kind of funny, but nonetheless, I'm about to get in on the
other side of this. So I'll see you in a second. I'm going to come back on the computer and I'll be in once again. So stay tuned. I'll be back in a second. All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Okay, here we go. Let me know what you guys are thinking right now. We're about to take over. Auction Zip, that is by Brian P. Thank you all for waiting. But once again, that's 2 takeouts today. Whenever we start talking about serious stuff, smash the like button. And if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. I'd appreciate it. And Just Thoughts, thank you so much for becoming a member of the channel with the icon next to your name. I greatly appreciate that. And welcome in the house, Just Thoughts. And that reminds me, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights are our live streams. You can ask any questions, discuss anything you want to discuss. Also on Wednesday night, members with the icons, guess what? They're the only ones that can be in the chat room. Everybody else can watch, but only they can be in the chat room. Members can also join me on any live stream, which is pretty cool. So where do you get that link at? Under the community tab on the YouTube channel page. That's where you get that link, but only members can get that link. So that's pretty cool. So once again, thank you so much, Just Thoughts, for your support. I appreciate it. And very, very happy to see you once again. Auction Zip is where Brian P. is using some of that passive income money to go out there and buy other assets known as collectibles, art. It's a different type of asset. It doesn't meet our classification because we're trying to shorten the timeline. We need assets that pay us. But there's nothing wrong with buying. Well, if you like some Jordans, that's cool. If you like watches, that's cool. If you like cards, trading cards, that's cool. If you like collecting, cool. Paintings, cool. They go up in value, right? Some of them. So yeah, it's like a little hedge against inflation, so to speak. But if you want that passive income to make it work in today's society and today's money where you can actually get it in your hands and pay your bills, that's the passive income and assets we're talking about here. We're not talking about the funny stuff. We're not talking about buying gold and silver, even though I don't have a problem with the gold and silver stackers. It's just that it makes no sense to me when I think about it more and more that I'm going to buy gold at, I don't even know what it is right now. Let's just say it's 2,000 an ounce. And then I hold it. I make no money while I'm holding it. But now because of inflation went up 10%, now the gold is $2,200 because it went up 10%. But that means I'm just staying level. Meaning if I take it out, I can only buy what I could buy right now. But I need to make more than that. I need that 2,000 to generate more than inflation. I need that to generate 15, 20% if possible. There's some vehicles right now that you can do that. I don't know how long they'll be able to do it, but you know, you got vehicles. Max, you got the ones I've always talked about. Just double check everything, the ORCs, the AGNCs, the PSECs, these type of funds. ARR, Real Estate Investment Trust, is ORC, not ORC, that's an Orchard Capital. But AGNC, ARR, NLY, these are real estate investment trusts. They're going to reap the rewards when interest rates decrease because that'll take pressure off of them. T minus 45 days, I suspect the first rate cut's coming. Although I think it's risky if they do it, but what can you say? They got to save the big boys. They're not going to raise the interest rate. Let's call it what it is. So again, those are the type of things you can look at to get 15%, 12%, 18%, IEP, 20%. That's not a real estate investment trust. That's actually an icon group that has automotive. It has everything, real estate. It's like interesting. Many different types of shares, many type of businesses. Oh, here we go. He's doing it again. I picked up 100 shares of TSLY. Brian P., you already have over 5,000 shares. Good grief, man. You don't need to pick up any more. You're in the loop now, using that, whatever it's going to be coming out, whether it's going to be $2,500 or $3,000 or $3,500, whatever it's going to be, you could reinvest that easily and get hundreds of shares just off of the reinvest. So now maybe go to something a little lower, a little safer, that's going to be 20, 18, 15%. I know you're on a roll. I get it. But go with a little safer scenario if you're going to be buying some more. That's what I'd recommend right now, because you are already in the loop. You've been investing with them for 1 year. So your line goes like it's starting to go. You're in this thing right here. Because if they're able to keep this up for another 7 pay cycles for you, your thing's going to start inverting almost damn near straight up. That's how quickly this is going to go. And then at that point, you're going to be doing something unheard of, maybe 4,500 possibly coming in every time. Because you're going to have like, I don't even know, like 6,000 or 7,000 shares. It's going to be insanity. It's going to be insane, especially when it's under $10 and you're getting like $3,000 or $2,500. All you need is 6 more months and you're going to be at what, 7,000? I mean, then you're going to have an inversion. So you don't need to really mess around with that. Now you have to just figure out what you're going to do with all that extra asset money, because your dollar cost average has even come down. Because remember, your reinvestment on the stock, the stock was like at $9 from 12. Now all of a sudden you're buying at 9. So your dollar cost average is coming down, which also means if they keep paying out at that same rate, your rate of return goes up. It's insane. That's the beauty of these high rate, high return type of deals, which I just can't believe they would last for a long time other than a few years. So far, 1 year down and counting, and all it takes is not even 1 year to get almost an inversion. It's incredible. All right, so just keep that in mind. No need to be adding any more to that. I'd rather see you go to a safety zone. Really, Victor Marrero I don't know if you were there on Friday. He left a perfect package plan, which I can't duplicate because it's perfect. He's taking the high risk, putting it into a lower risk, but the lower risk is still giving a great return. It's not doing what, Coiny or TSLY does. But if you take 20%, 30% rates of return, or 40 or 50, and you turn those into 10 to 15, that's a long term. You're taking all of that cash and putting it into a lower rate, and you're letting the other stuff just keep churning. I like that method. So again, think about it. Go get the Victor Marrero plan. You have his info. He'll tell you. He's got a great plan for using the yieldmaxetfs.com, using that. So it's going to be pretty sweet. I picked up 100 shares. That's beautiful still. I like it. But he says, I know. All right. Yo, Eric, what's this? I hear Yahweh and his villa. Yeah, Georges Charles, they have a master title. He got a notification in November that they don't have title. So now they said title's going to be in April, even though they have delivery. So he can't go down and get a loan because he can't get the appraisal because he doesn't have title. This is what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. They're not the only ones. I'm telling everybody, this is what it is. A lot. Johan already said like 90% are all like this. And some are even worse that I don't want to get into right now because people are going to be like, are you kidding? It's almost like a lease, or not. I use the term lease loosely. It's a promissory note where they say that they are giving you the land, you're buying it, but title has not been changed. So you're paying the people for the land who has it titled, but the title, the developer doesn't have in his name. So again, in America, I don't know, because I've never tried to build something that wasn't properly titled. So I don't know what they're doing, quite frankly. So I've always owned my land, so I don't know. I've never tried to buy land, which you can do, because you can buy land like on discountlots.com. Then you can turn around and build a structure on there because it went through closing and it's deeded to you, but you have a lien holder, right? So, or mortgage holder. So that's standard. Mortgage holder deeded to you, so you own it. So therefore you can do transactions on the land. But this thing about I'm going to do a pseudo like promissory note type thing and it's still titled and deeded to the individual, and then I'm going to go to the permit department and say, hey man, I want to build a house over here, and they're going to go, I'm sorry, Eric, who's the owner of this property? Yeah, I need a permit to build a house here. Do you have some documents? I'm like, no, that ain't washing. That's not going to wash. I know some people are going to say, all right, I got approval from the deed holder, title holder. Okay, you can get it done. But again, I don't like doing things like this because if you're not, first of all, I'm the guy who's building this. The guy still has the deed in his name. So I'm putting a building on his place. That's kind of crazy to me. That deed better be in my name. I'm not building nothing. Sorry. I'm just saying, it's kind of crazy. Yo, Eric, what's this I hear? That's what's happening, man. This is I think it's Las Risapal, I believe. What project? Yeah, you remember Las Risapal that was supposed to be delivered like, what was it? Probably like 8-9 months ago. Right. And here we are still messing with master title, and they haven't even transferred title yet. If I'm not mistaken, maybe he can come back and let me know if I'm wrong. But I just don't remember the timelines, but it's been seemingly like 8-9 months ago it was finished. Which project? I think it's, like I said, he'll let us know. I think it was Les Risapal. Eric, there is one way it sounds like only solution, but it's not a good solution. What's the solution? I don't want to hear. You just said it's not a good solution. No worries, man. The virus is coming. The solution is coming. The virus is coming. The virus is coming. So, like I said, I figured out what you should do. I'll put it that way. But all the guys aren't trying to do that because they know that if they go down the path. So let's just say you're a new developer and you know that it's going to take you a year and a half before you can do anything, right? Because of the title the way it is now. So what they're doing is they're selling pre-construction knowing they can't do anything for a year and a half. But then when the year and a half comes up, they find themselves not actually being able to have the title done properly because somebody's holding out, want more money. They know you're building a project now or whatever. So now you find yourself in negotiations. And then it could be 2 years. 1 year and a half ain't far from 2 years. You can find yourself at 2 years just now getting things worked out. And then you start building. Now you're late. there's so many different variables that can happen with this scenario that I just can't believe they put themselves in this situation. We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars potentially in some of these projects. I just can't believe that these guys are really, and here's the worst part. The building cost is going up while this is going on. So what they thought they could build it for, let's say 1,000 a square meter, 4 years from now, it might be 1,500 a square meter. That's a big difference. I'm not saying that's the numbers, but it could be depending on what you're doing in your project. You're building, making waterways and doing kind of crazy stuff. Building costs could be off the charts right now. Do you have the block maker? Because see, that's another business to consider to get into. Who's making the bricks? Where are they? Who's making those? Because that would be a great business to get into, especially in the Dominican Republic right now, or anywhere for that matter. It could be Thailand, it could be anywhere, Costa Rica, wherever they're doing building, Colombia, wherever, right? Just think about it. We're talking business here, right? You want your financial freedom papers? You sell the picks and the axes, right? The shovels, the bricks, the rebar, the concrete, right? You just, put a hat on and sit at your shop. Let the builders, developers come and buy all these items and go out there and take the risk. Because to me, that's what this is when you can't deliver for 4 years. When you sell something to somebody in 2020, 2021, 2019, 2018, and it's still not finished. That's a liability. And we all know that construction costs went up 30 or 40% in the Dominican Republic in 2020 and 2021. I'm sorry, 2021 and 2022. 40%. So if, again, I was building at 800 a square meter, now I have to do an extra 40%. Now we're going to be at 1,000, actually more. We're going to be at 1,100. And if we have one of these projects that has 500 units, that's a lot of money. When you start talking about 3,000 more per square meter on 500 units, you guys can start doing these numbers. You're going to be like, wait, is he really saying like $15 million more? Yes. That's what I'm saying. And then they sold you units that were cheap, right? 99 for a studio. Well, no, back then it was 79 for a studio. 99 for a 1-bedroom, 125 for a 2-bedroom. All of a sudden, they got to pay a hell of a lot more money. So again, these are the type of things you have to think about that a lot of people who don't build, a lot of people who are buying don't think about these things. But when you start building for yourself, then you know what you need to ask. You know what you need to make this project viable. It's not as simple as going like these guys told me, 200 units, $150,000. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's what, $30 million or something. I'm like, okay, great. What does that mean? Nothing. You need to tell me what the building price is going to be. And they're giving me some stupid numbers. And I'm turning to them and I said, hey guys, why are you telling me numbers? You aren't builders. You're not developers nor builders. I said, until the builders come and sit down and tell me these numbers, this is pie in the sky. This ain't, I don't know what you guys are talking about. None of you are builders, so don't speak for them. Get them on the table, get them on the call, and then we'll talk about how much it costs. If they don't say them numbers, then I don't want to hear from you guys. You're the peanut gallery at this point. You're not experts. You don't build. You don't do that. I don't build. I'm not here doing it. So don't give me numbers. Eric, we can do, no, you can't do anything. I get annoyed with this. I know people. Well, bring them to the damn table so they can say it themselves, because they're going to be giving up concessions. Because any overage is coming out of their end. It ain't coming out of my end. So I don't really care what number you ultimately say. If you tell me a number and you say, well, we're going to build all these in 2.5 years and it's going to be $1,000 per square meter, don't come to me later and tell me, hey, Eric, we can't do it. It's coming out. I don't want to hear it. You're the one that signed on for this. You don't get no reprieve. You should have just said, hey, Eric, man, it's going to be 20% more. Probably we're not going to be done in 2 years. What do I got to do? Your job? Just tell me 1,200 a square meter, so then they'll be viable. Don't give me some pie in the sky that you already know we're going to have to adjust later, and then you're going to come crying to me later, acting like I'm supposed to feel sorry for you. You're the one that made the number, not me. I didn't force your hand. So this is how you have to be. So if they say, hey, I'm going to take my dolls and dishes and run off, I'll be like, fine. I'll get somebody else that has dolls and dishes. And in fact, don't make me do the inevitable. Don't make me just bring the dolls and dishes and go make it up myself. And I'll just cut you out entirely. Don't try to stop somebody that's an actual player in the game. You don't get to take your money home and go. That ain't going to work. All right, let's go. I want to hear the solution, George. Is there one way, but not a good solution? Let's hear it, man. What if he pays for it in cash without a bank loan? No title. He doesn't have title. The master title hasn't been, they didn't chop it into the units, so they didn't, he hasn't gotten it. In fact, it's interesting that you say that, Georges Charles. People did that at the beach. Those people are now trying to resell their unit. They have no title, so they can't resell their unit. They live there, though. They all... like, this is crazy. See, this is why you should have attorneys. You should not be doing that kind of crazy stuff just because they said delivery. Do not do it unless they have the title. This just came up in the owners group just a few days ago. Shout out to Mr. De La Cruz, who owns there. He started asking, he's like, hey, man, how are you guys selling stuff if you don't have title? I was like, exactly. What are you talking about? You're not selling nothing. You have no title. But they did what you're talking about, Georges Charles. And like you said, that's not a solution. That's not a solution. They would give him the property. Yeah, but you don't control it and start making money is working in the title. Yeah, Georges Charles, but one little problem. You really don't own it. You don't have title. So anything you're doing, yes, you could make money. Yes. But like I said, that causes a problem if you're trying to do something. When you go down to the, this is what started happening. When you go down to get your electricity, they start asking for documents. These one people took 2 months to get their electricity turned on. I don't know the circumstances, but I thought that was a bit wild. But again, this little thing that Georges Charles just talked about, apparently people are taking delivery. Why are they taking delivery with no title? Because they made the fatal error. They said, oh, it was going to be delivered in 2022. So they planned on it. 2023, it got delayed. They said, fine. So they planned on it with their existing home in the United States. Then they sold their home in middle 2023, only to find out delivery wasn't 2023 in the summer. It was like November. Now they are living in the DR, paying rent. Storage of their stuff that they sent over from the US is sitting in storage. They're paying that plus a place, knowing their place here is paid off. This is the crazy stuff that's going on. Because remember, some people are using their retirement money, pension monies, to borrowing monies from 401ks, which I I do not advise doing this. Do not borrow money from your 401ks, from your stock portfolio. Do not do this. It's not worth it. It's not like you're going to lose a lot by leaving your money in those accounts, especially when the stock market is breaking its all-time record highs. If you are going to earn 12 to 20% or more, why would you borrow and have to pay interest when you're in an up market? You already did the right thing. You worked hard for your money. Now you're going to pay a percentage back and lose all that? That doesn't make sense. Don't do that, because you don't know what your end result's going to be with the real estate in the DR. You don't know if it's going to be a year late, if it's a 2-year late, and heaven forbid if it's 4 or 5 years late. You're going to be paying that loan with no way to get the revenue back. And then what happens? This is already happening. You thought you were going to start working at 60, but now because your place isn't ready, now you have to pay that loan or pay back part of your 401k, whatever the case may be. And now you have to work an extra 2, 3, 4 years. I mean, this is what's going on because they're not in the SSN Nation. They're doing these deals, making these decisions and not thinking about the repercussions if they get delayed. And you've taken loans on your hard-earned money and profits and assets. Don't do that. The only way you take loans on assets is if you quickly put it into another asset that generates money immediately. You don't do borrowing money on an existing asset that makes more money for you and then go out here and put it into a black hole, waiting 2, 3 years later. No, you take it, put it into another asset that pays you immediately within the first, whatever your agreement is, first quarter that you took over or became partner or whatever. But do not do something such as pre-construction and getting loans. You are not in control. Just because somebody says it's going to be ready in a year and a half does not mean it's going to be ready in a year and a half. All right? The first things you need to find out is, you got the title. Does Larimar have title? Well, funny you should ask this, because okay, I'm going to put it this way, Charles. I'm going to give everybody a lesson. So we go to our lawyer. Lawyer says, yes, they control the property, have the property. Danny Malky comes on when Gwen had somebody that he's selling to ask a question. Do you have title? He says, yes, we have title. Well, that's an interesting statement, because what I was saying was, I was like, don't they have like a promissory note? So I don't know the title situation because I have what we call promissory note. All right. So this is when things get crazy, because I'm like, wait, what is going on? And that's when Johan says, oh man, all these big projects have this. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, they all have this agreement that they can purchase, and that counts because they can actually build and do whatever they want with that agreement. I said, I don't think so. He goes, so he says that's what he says. But now that I'm actually trying to be in the builder side, I'm like, that is not even where I want to be. Because that now leads me into situations where ultimately we need to transfer title. And that also means somebody could change their mind. I don't want that agreement, even though the agreement is airtight. It says it's airtight. It's like they can't back out, right? If you back out, you forfeit the property, that kind of language, which is fine. But again, I see challenges. If I'm in America, I have challenges. I'm not on the deed. I don't have the title, and I'm trying to build something. I have an agreement. I'm just like, it needs to be deeded somehow. There needs to be some. If I buy land from Discount Lots, let me put it to you this way. Discountlots.com, you want to buy land, go buy land. You know what's going to happen? It's going to go through a closing agency. So that closing agency means that they're going to deed it to you, and then that guy's going to have, he's going to have the mortgage loan. He's going to be the lender. He's got, so if you default on the loan, then he gets the land back. So yeah, you can go build whatever you want on there, just like a normal house. You can keep paying your mortgage, but as soon as you don't pay, the house is gone, the land is gone. Do what you want, high risk maneuvers, but I wouldn't put myself in that situation. All right, you want to own the land, deed it to you, so then that way you can deed it to somebody else. You don't want to have issues like this. Straight up. Now, I will say one thing in the defense of these the builders and developers is this: they can't deed the property to you until you have paid your portion, right? Think about it. Because if you never finish paying and they give you the deed before that, then they could lose. So they do have to wait. So think about that. And then you find out it may take you 3 months to 4 months for them to transfer deed to you. So those little windows, they're almost hard to change unless you have prematurely made sure that you separated all the deeds into your name. That's what I would do. At least that's what I'm going to try to do, because I should have a separate deed already separated while these people are making their payments. So I'm just going to deed it over to myself, my company. So then that way they're all separate. I can have 50 deeds, 100 deeds. I can have 200 deeds. For each unit, I'll have a separate deed. So then when the person finished paying, done. Take it. It's yours. Thank you very much for your business. See where I'm going with this? Simple, easy. So there you go. I already saw your question. I answered it. That's also why Larimar is different. Well, let's put it this way. Larimar, Cruise on Land, Atlanta, all these guys are operating along these same lines. They have the swath of land, but they may not own it outright themselves. They have a deal with whoever, and they're giving them monthly payments. I know it's astounding. It's astonishing. I know. Because me personally, right now, I'm just going to tell you the difference. There's swaths of land that my guys, if they fund my project, I own the land. So when George's Charles would ask me who has title, SSN Lifestyle will have title because we have the land. None of this pseudo thing that they're talking about that these guys do. Well, we have a right to do it and this, that, and the other, and we haven't even transferred title to us. I'm not trying to do that. Why? Because the virus is here. So we're just going to own the land, build on the land. We're the title holders. We can title it to whoever we want. Simple. Break it down while people are making payments over 2 years. Time frame works perfect. So at the end of a year, year and a half, we just have the title broken down. If the person doesn't pay, we keep it, fine. If they do pay, fine. We can transfer it within a timely manner. Simple. The virus is here. I'm giving the playbook to the guys. They could do it themselves, but they don't want to do that because they're too busy with getting the luxury of being able to get these people to finance their lots, these acres. They're able to say, yeah, I'll give you, whatever it is, I don't know, but 300,000, and then I'll pay you 200,000 or 20,000, whatever it is per month, as long as you agree to let me, that I'm going to buy the land from you eventually. So they can make them deals all day. I'm not. Because there's one thing with land and one thing with building. You want control. You don't want somebody else to be able to roll up and make things messy. You want to make sure you own the land. That's all I know. I've never owned land. I've never even, now that I'm trying to think back, I never even ever tried to build anything on land that wasn't deeded to me. That's insane to me. I would never do that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap this up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this Financial Freedom Papers. You guys know how to get it. If you want to come back on Wednesday night at 8:50 p.m., please do. I would enjoy that. I would thank you, and hopefully you would be there. And I want to thank our new member, ladies and gentlemen, Just Thoughts. Welcome to the SSN Nation fam. I appreciate your support, that financial support. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. Let me throw this down. I appreciate nothing but love for Just Thoughts here tonight. And again, ladies and gentlemen, don't let anybody stop you from doing anything. If you need a little help financially with projects or anything like that, just hit me up. Support at StopStrugglingNow.com. All right. The bank is open. We have some people that has, well, hey, they're not putting their money in YieldMax ETFs because they got millions. That's too high risk. They'd rather just say, hey, I'll take that land as a lien. And if you don't pay me back, at least I got the land that's worth more than whatever. And this is another thing. We're in a situation right now. You guys won't believe this. I could flip, if I got this land, I could flip it and make $60 per square meter more. Just by flipping it, I'd make 60%. Is that crazy or what? And so if you go $1 million, that's $600,000 by flipping. That's crazy. Because that's below market. 60% below market is crazy. And there's an upside. I can wait till some announcements come out in about 3 months. The price per square meter in the neighborhood is going to go up. Clearly. So, but I'm not. I'm trying to take over. I'm actually not selling the land. If I get it, we're building. So stay tuned. All right. That's it. That's all we're going to talk about tonight. So I want to thank everybody once again. I love you guys very much. I appreciate your support over all these years. I appreciate some of you that have been listening and paying attention to our chat room and our conversations in the evening times, because you have been fortunate enough to hear from superstars, some investors, people from all walks of life who have done many different things with their 401ks, with their real estate, with their Airbnb, short-term rentals, long-term rentals, all type of different ways that you can get your financial freedom papers. You guys are learning it here from people that actually do it. That's the difference. You can talk a good game, but until you're in the game and doing it, then you find out, wait a minute, this guy said this guy said that. Now that I'm in the game, it ain't even possible to do what he said. In fact, he has to do some funky stuff to make it even work. Then you start finding out, why did they always ask you to send them money for these courses? Right? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, no courses here. We actually help you. We actually try to make sure that you rise with us. And oh, by the way, because something came up with Mo today. He said, hey, man, if you do those $1 million villas, man, I can't afford it. I said, Mo, it's always SSN Nation. We always are going to have something for the ordinary citizens so they can rise up and say, man, I got something for 250, 300,000. The damn thing's worth like 800,000. Don't worry. I got something special for SSN Nation and ordinary citizens, the OCs. Don't worry. All I'm going to say is it could be beachfront. And that will not be $1 million villa. We're going to be talking bungalows. We'll just call it small type villas, but still bungalows. They won't be $1 million. They won't be 700,000 either. They won't be 500,000 either. First phase, SSN Nation, Ordinary citizens, you'll be able to get a good deal. And you did hear beach, right? Walking distance to the beach, like less than 100 yards. Shh. Let's go. All right. Thank you so much. And I'm going to leave in a second, but please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And you know it's hard out here, ladies and gentlemen. But don't let that get to you. You have help. We're different. We try to help everybody. That's the difference. We're not going to be like, oh, yeah, we got this, we got that. I want to share. That's why I'm one of the most dangerous men in America, because I'm not like the other dudes. They're sitting there trying to take all the wealth. I'm sitting there trying to share it because there's more people you can help when you just try to hoard it yourself, right? I'm listening to Jeff Bezos giving the nonsense, trying to act like he's doing something. Oh, I'm going to donate X amount of dollars to charity. I'm like, dude, a large percentage of that money doesn't trickle down to do hardly anything. Why didn't you just go out here and say, hey, you know what? I guess I'll build some homes for 200 grand or something with these billions of dollars. Let me build a few thousand of those so ordinary citizens, I can help them out. Why not be direct? Don't give me none of this accolade nonsense. All right? That ain't helping nobody, sending it to charity. Come on, man. Wow. Anyhow, it's disgusting. That's not what we're trying to do up in here, ladies and gentlemen. And so all I'm saying is stay tuned. The ride is going to be awesome. If I get a yes on what I need, then you guys are going to see a ride that you've probably never seen in your lifetime. My friends back in the day used to be like, man, I don't know how you do all this stuff you do, but you guys will get to see it. Reboot, EB2. It'll be a reboot. It'll be fun. It's a science experiment. Let's go for it. Now, with all that said, make sure you stay safe out here. Make sure nobody stops you. And if you have some obstacle in the way, just sit back, relax, come on any of these live streams and just hear what we have to say. Maybe something will jar your memory, be like, wait a minute, I can do that and that. Hold on, there's a way to do it. So don't go too far. Make sure you smash those like buttons. And with all that said, make sure you stay safe. Make sure you stay out of trouble, because it's very hard out here. A lot of people are on edge. But make sure you keep your head up. Keep moving. And I'm out.